wasn't as hard as it used to be, though.
Yeah, but they clean your sinuses, though. The green sauce.
Free and clear.
Yeah. Get all that fake pollen out of it.
See where you come.
See where it's going to be.
I had an awesome week.
Oh, that.
It's full. I was rushing around a lot, but I was really grateful for it. It was really a good week. So, and then of course, I was telling everybody about this young man that's featuring me in his documentary. So we shot some of that last night. And he was supposed to come in tonight and do some more, but he was still editing, and then he got a prep for another interview he's doing tomorrow. So he hit me up maybe. Yeah, so I was like, okay, all right. But he's definitely going to come back and do some more, so I just got to get the next date for him. Right. And then we'll do it again, which kind of be cool, because I think it'll give me time to actually really invite people out.
I looked up the name. I was like, God, why does he sound familiar to me? So I know his name.
That chair over there with just a little bit more.
Thank you, Mama.
Oh, good. Tired.
You wanted to get you in the shot.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
And,
You sounded tired.
I'm not sure. I don't want to
Okay, yeah.
feed into that.
So he's an Orlando native.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Went to walk into school. I was his teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just to shift a teeny bit more.
Who's shifting?
To the left.
Slide over.
It's me, I'm
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
You good?
I'm in.
You're in.
Yeah, are we good? Okay.
So he's done that. He's been in the industry for a little while now. He's been doing. He's been going pretty strong, and then he started his own company. Right.
He already winning awards.
Yeah.
Who?
Tim, but Tim is like a superhuman though. Anything he focuses on, he do at an elite level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We see that.
Yeah.
You can look at him. He just looks like discipline.
Jeremy.
Look.
He looks like focus and discipline. Like he literally looks like focus.
Yes.
And focus and discipline was a person.
Took me back to old school New York.
Oh yeah, them things tough.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Look like something
No,
that would have.
Yeah. She's not picking on it.
How
No, I'm not picking on
She's not picking on it. She's like, they're not peas.
They're not.
And then that slides.
And they're not yellow.
That's what reminds me.
Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely
So like you
focusing on his mind. And that was in the documentary he's dealing with.
Yeah, I know. I came in here wrong with that jacket.
We definitely gonna see him in a bit more
Yeah, no, it's not
eventually.
you, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see how it won't happen.
So he definitely want to talk to you because he wants some of your music. Thank you for the documentary.
You know, me and him. There was a couple times he hit me up about that, and we were supposed to, but it never went through though.
Okay.
But that's what's up though. We talked about that some years ago.
Yeah.
As he make his way in there, he want to score some of his stuff with some of my stuff. So that's a great look.
Yeah,
that's good. That's you know, people don't be realizing.
We gotta get him in Georgia together.
He putting all that work. He's putting a lot of work in. Where it's like he gotta make all these parts fit. People like sometimes you reach out to somebody and they'll be like, "Well, he never reached back." It's like, man, this guy's trying to put a lot of shit together. At one time.
You want the track lights on
don't pick that person.
Yeah.
I know timing is timing.
We
Man,
used to have track lights on it instead of these.
I don't know. It probably won't matter.
You all right, babe? She fanning. Like she's been having hot flashes for 3 years. It ain't been that long. Okay.
Just took that jacket off.
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
It's somebody how the tequila.
The tequila.
The tequila.
Oh, I can't help none of that.
Yeah, you can.
You know I can't.
Nah.
No, she can't.
Nah.
She can't. No. That's at the house.
As I recall.
I gotta keep bringing up her past, man. You can do it.
Okay.
She keep bringing it up.
I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, that was a great time.
That was a great time.
It happens
Yeah,
to
it
the
was
best.
your
It happens to the
birthday.
best of us.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was
It was hilarious.
Yeah, not again.
You were
It was
hilarious.
her birthday.
Some people
too.
consider a
It was
birthday
her
not to be
birthday
a
shot.
birthday without that happening.
Are we live?
Yeah, we laughed.
Yes,
We
we're
laughed.
live.
You had a great birthday.
You're funny.
It was though. That was a nice time.
No, see, what's funny is it wasn't her birthday.
It was
Her
Jason's
no, It was
birthday.
Jason's birthday.
True, that's
Her
true.
birthday
I ain't
is
say
December.
that. I was just
Her
saying
birthday,
that. Like,
but her birthday's in December, so we kept thinking, okay, we were talking about. I thought you were literally talking about the birth of the event, right? And we'll celebrate that, the
Yeah, there we go.
her coming out
That
party
was- yeah.
with a dessert and wine
That's what
pairing.
it was.
Yeah,
And,
a shot or something for
But
Yeah, I
we
think-
were celebrating that and Jason's
right.
birthday and the
It was
whole
Jason's
day
birthday.
and
Yeah,
so,
I think.
Dang, so I've been wrong all this time.
Yeah.
It was Jason's birthday. It was the wine and
But we did.
wine and
Dessert
dessert
pairing?
pairing.
Oh, it
We
was
did.
wonderful.
We did have
Yeah,
some
that was a
shots.
good night though.
Yeah, that was
it was a good time.
It
though.
was.
Yeah, we gotta do
It
that
was
again.
Jason's birthday.
I could have drew that up any more
Yeah.
perfect.
She just missed
good.
time the shots in the wine. It probably wasn't,
And when, well,
No,
the big
what's
thing
that?
is
I hadn't had
she
anything to
was so busy grinding,
Right.
putting together
She ain't
all
had
the
no
desserts,
days.
right? The cheesecakes
All she
and,
did was
and,
taste
and,
the-
and,
the-
and the,
oh, yeah.
truffles, and she was so busy doing all of that that she didn't really eat.
Yeah, that
So
alcohol
she got
remind
here,
you.
yeah. And then on top of that, she doesn't drink, right? So yeah, that was that was interesting.
Ain't no barrier between the spirits and you. It's just like,
We learned Bruno don't know if you drink or not.
yeah.
You're like, yeah.
It's like I think you know you didn't drink.
Here, take a shot. Come on.
That's what brothers do, man. You know you ain't drink.
Yeah.
Bruno got me in trouble.
My brother was being.
How he doing? Where he at?
Being sweet.
He's good, man. He's good.
We was trying to
Enjoying
celebrate. We was trying to
marriage.
celebrate today.
I was just about to say, did he get married?
Yeah, he got married.
You got married again?
He got married.
Now I'm just saying, like, I mean, I wouldn't shoot myself twice, you know what I'm saying?
Married.
Yes, he got married again.
Black, you definitely gonna get married again.
No, man.
I'll put money on that. I'll put money on that.
You lose.
We're gonna come back to this conversation. Why?
Ladies and gentlemen, we want
Well, we
you
got
to
to
know that
document
Black.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to another edition of the Brotherhood, Manhood, Fatherhood Conversation Series presents The Conversation Before the Conversation. And tonight, our topic is Boys to Men. It's real simple. The rules are real simple. We don't talk over each other. When we're talking about what we're talking about. We're not talking about what we're not talking about. We have a special guest with us, our brother Doc Prince from the new Macedonia. Can we help with the rest?
Church
Church.
Ministries Incorporated.
All right, there we
The
go.
name sounds real interesting.
So Doc is fortunately for us, he's a fan of the program, and I'm a fan of his program. So he's joining us tonight. That being said, we got Devinn, the wordsmith, Mr. Haircut Man, the creator of the Woodwall Show, the owner and proprietor of Exclusive Cuts Barbershop. He got 15 job.
He's a Smith. You know what a Smith is? Right? A blacksmith. The word. A Smith is just like, you just good with your hands, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we got Jaesun Music, JAESUNMUZIC. Jaesun Music on all platforms, Mr. Compassionate. Then we got Devinn, Jus'Black. Would you
Let him do it, man.
rest
So much.
The star of the show, man. I'm Eddie Kane.
Ain't nobody come to see you on this?
No, Eddy Kane was.
What?
Yeah,
Eddie Kane was real.
Eddie Zane
I like how you broke it. You know, Baruti was getting interviewed for this documentary that's not been released or announced, but he was describing everybody on the panel. So I like how you put it together.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this is what it was. It's like, you know, well, when we first started doing this, right? I asked you and I asked Jaesun, and then of course there was Bruno and Shakespeare, and we were looking at it. I was like, okay, we got to have all these different personalities to really make this thing work. And then as time went on, you know, people started doing their own thing, and then I realized, wait a minute, what we're doing, we're gonna have people, we're gonna lose people. But of course, the show must go on. And then they had an event here at the Barbershop, and I attended, and I was like, okay, this is pretty smooth. And it was very energetic. When the one that you and Lincoln hosted, it was very energetic, right? So, yeah. I got cussed out a couple of times in the back. I was like, man, what, you know? So anyway, it was one of those things, right? So and then we started coming to the shop more, hanging out, and then was like, yo, man, let's do one here at the shop. And then when I was watching Devinn sit down, because you didn't really say much at the one y'all did. You was kind of in the background, and I was like, okay. All right. Yeah. I said, I ain't got to do that part no more. I can actually kind of sit back, and then so it felt comfortable once we all sat down here in the personalities that everybody kind of was hitting all the angles with it, and I was like, okay, people are going to be able to really benefit from what we have often.
Yeah, the different perspectives.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so this is solid, and then to be able to bring people in from time to time to add to that. I just saw it being magical, and I sat back and said, yeah, okay, this is what Devinn brings, this is what Jaesun brings, this is what Black brings, and I was like, yeah, this is, and as we can see, it's been working. People are really benefited from it. We are actually doing we're actually doing God's work. We're creating a space where people, when they're here, they're really comfortable here. They're open, because people will come in and they'll say, yo, I'm just going to sit in the back. I really ain't going to say nothing. And then before you know it, they'll scoot it up.
I actually think that
we have to be like, all right, then we got to go to the next one.
it's long-winded too, boy.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? When you get to talk, and you really feel like people are listening to you, you just keep going.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you done made your point 15, you done made the same point 15 times.
Halfway through a sentence, they pause and think to themselves, I like this. They're listening.
Everybody, right. Because me and my mom deal with that, right? Me and my mom deal with the fact that I actually asked her, I said, do you feel like people listen to you? Because of the way she talks and when I'm like, okay, I got it. And she keeps talking, and then it's like I'm bothering her, because even though I heard what she had to say and I got it, that I'm moving on to the next thing, that she's still trying to feel like she got to explain the other thing that she was just talking about. So now I got to sit back and I got to wait. And I asked her, I said, are we in a situation where you felt like, people just didn't listen to you? Is that why you feel like you got to keep going on and on and on? And so, and then maybe like 2 or 3 days later, she's like, you know what, I thought about that. And she said, yeah. But now her transitioning out of that, she's still working on that.
Yeah.
How about say?
Yeah. That's why I say that. That's why they say knowing is only half the battle.
Right. Right.
You got a lot more after that.
She's still working on that.
You'd be surprised how people they're not used to having honest conversations, man. That's what's the young lady that came on. She was like, oh, I had my gloves on. It's like, no, we actually listening to what you're saying.
Right.
We're just sitting here listening to you.
Right.
We're not saying you wrong. We're not interjecting our point. We just okay. Yeah.
We heard you.
We're not trying to dominate your voice.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you. But yeah, but people are not. And what you said about honest conversation, which we talked a little bit, and I talked to Tim about that. And me and my wife have been going on and on and on about this for a while. And I'm constantly pointing out to her, probably like the last year, the way we're taught to have conversation, we're actually taught to be dishonorable in conversation. Right? So then now when you're trying to be honorable in conversation, you are now an inconvenience to the conversation.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right? So
But now you're throwing the rhythm off.
Right. I've been dancing like this for a long time.
Yeah, you like the only person out of sync.
Right.
You're like,
Right.
You don't get it? I mean, just because it's all y'all don't mean y'all right.
Oh, what
Right.
your boy said, Chris Rock on that Selective Outrage, he was like, everybody full of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He kept going back to that point, and I was like, man, that's a great point.
Yeah.
He's like, man,
everybody's high.
y'all not saying what y'all thinking, and y'all acting like y'all so outraged by what someone else is saying out loud that you think all the time.
Right.
You just not gonna say it out loud because you don't have enough power and clout or money to lose the things that you have.
Yeah,
Or even be in jeopardy.
Lose the relationships.
Yeah.
Or the resources.
So it's like,
So you live in fear.
He snapped.
Right.
He snapped on that
Right.
point.
Yeah,
He's,
that just sounds like fear because it doesn't necessarily mean you speak out you're gonna lose anything.
Yeah, but that's
I mean, in this
That's
climate, all it takes is one email to HR to get you up out of there.
You know, I'm saying.
In this climate too, it took one bad, one bad post.
Yeah, one bad post.
Make a
It's
bad
over
joke
for
at the water cooler. Somebody said they feel uncomfortable.
But uncomfortable.
Right. That's when you have to when you're making a statement that is just everybody has that same sentiment. You have to say it in a way where it don't hurt.
Or they label you unstable. That's the easy way.
Which is I'm familiar. I watch Jordan Peterson. You guys familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Peterson's point is, people have to risk offending you to actually speak their mind.
Right.
So if you're going to be offended by everything somebody says,
You're too sensitive.
right, and now we're not actually able to even explore different ideas.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like I didn't offend you if I'm just speaking.
Yeah.
Something that I said, the way you took it caused a reaction within you. I didn't actually offend you.
Right.
Yeah,
You took what I said. You took offense to what I said. But if we get down to the root of it, did I say what I said to offend you?
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like you only offended if it resonates to you where you have to face it and ask yourself, is it true? Doesn't mean it is true. It is you have to ask yourself, is it true?
Right.
And that's the scariest thing. And then is a possibility that it is.
And people,
Yeah, that's what be provoking like the anger or
Yeah.
like the defense mode when it's like, no, that ain't what I did.
Right.
Like, if you ain't do that, why you act like that? If you ain't do it, you could just be like, nah, that's not what I
Nah,
did.
you got it wrong.
Yeah,
But that's
Not even worried about
Don't
it.
tell me
'cause
I
you're wrong.
attacked you. Yeah, you ain't gonna convince me that I attacked you. I'm not
Right.
gonna agree with you. Like, I'll be like, okay, I get it how you can get offended, but like, I'm not finna sit here and agree that I attacked you, and I'm not finna apologize for attacking you because I never attacked
I
you.
didn't attack you.
because that's what offense is. Offense is the presumption of defense is coming. What meaning like you have to defend yourself. So instead of defending yourself, you go on attack.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it because whatever, man. If you can say whatever you want, I don't care. You can say some woman can come in and say any guy under 6 feet is useless. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm offended by that.
Yeah, but it probably it took you.
I don't care.
It probably didn't take you time for that, but it take you time to like be self accountable and self aware. Like it takes work to do that.
You definitely is like, and this climate is definitely like learned behavior. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because whenever a lot of the outrage be a subject to like just accountability and self awareness. So like when somebody be like, I can't believe you said that, it's like you can't believe that I said it so that you have to face it.
Right.
You don't care that I said it. You
Right.
don't care that I said it at all.
Right. You
Right.
care that I said it in your presence or I said it to you.
Right.
That's selective outrage.
Right.
Or you care that somebody in this room knows that you got this going on.
Right. Right.
Right. Right.
For real. Like, it be that sometimes too, you know? They'll look right at the person and be like,
Yeah.
how dare you?
You don't.
Nah.
They start.
If you never did it, there's nothing to be like a shame. You know what I'm saying?
That's like in this
Shame
it's where we are now, where people start like making like false equivalencies based on what you said. You don't see me, or you don't like me, you hate me, like all this thing. Like none of this is the truth. Like me not seeing you because I say, hey, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that's not me not seeing.
Phobia.
That's
You have a phobia now of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in order for me to say, in order for me to say, yo, that's bullshit, that means I do see.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just in
Obviously, I'm
disagreement.
looking.
And I'm just in
No,
disagreement.
if you disagree, then that means you don't see me.
You know, one of my mom's friends, one of my elders, one of my mothers, community mothers. That was a thing where one of my Shakespeare was having a conversation with her son, and he was like, "Yo, man, but if you understand what I'm saying, you agree with me." And she said, "No, son, that's not true."
I can understand and not agree.
Right. Because I understand.
Right.
Like, and the point that Shakespeare was making, he said, I understand Hitler, but I don't agree with it.
Right. That's good. That's
Right?
good.
Like, I understand why he did what he did.
Right.
But it don't mean I agree with it.
Right.
Right? So you can know something and definitely be in disagreement, but people, man, we don't want to be wrong.
Yeah. Or it's like yo, if you
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, but it's like if you can rationalize the bullshit, like people think if you can rationalize the bullshit and it makes sense. If you can make it make sense, that means that it ain't bullshit no more, and that's not true.
No. Doc, you gonna say?
Yeah, so I don't know when it switched, but somewhere along the line, there's this mindset, and especially in America, where it's like, in order truth equals rightness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I know that's a subjective word, but your truth equals rightness. So if I say something, that makes it true. It doesn't have to be factual. Doesn't have to be based in any metric or anything. It's just I said this, so because I said it, it's true. And if you challenge it, then it becomes personal. So it's not. We lost the art of communication. We don't know how to have just a normal conversation.
Right.
And this your opinion, this my opinion, these are my perspectives.
Right.
And I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with that, but I hear what you're saying, and that's good. All right, this is my point. This is what I'm saying. I don't agree with what you're saying, but I get your point. And it's just, when you have to come to that point of agreeing and disagreeing, and I think it's almost like we've replaced conversation and communication for debate and apologetics. So it's like now, we just want to sit and everything is one against one. The whole nature of the conversation.
Right.
So nobody's listening. Everybody's just swinging.
Right.
And that's
Waiting to
the
respond.
culture that we're in now. Yeah.
And that's what he mean, like by like not having an honest conversation,
Yep.
because because what it does is it's saying like when somebody goes like, "Oh, that's my truth," that means that whatever you present to me, I have not done the work on what I think I believe. So, and so that we don't have a conversation beyond what I just said, I'm gonna say that's just my truth. Or that's just my opinion. Instead of just saying, "Oh, well, I feel like this because of this, and this led me to think this."
Like, what's your sources of research?
Yeah, a young lady put up a post, and it was, why do men feel intimidated by a woman who is determined and dedicated to building her purpose or her career? Building her business or her career. And I was like, okay. So I just asked the question. That's what I do. And the question was, what evidence do you have that men are intimidated
That's right.
by a woman who's dedicated and moving, into her purpose? I was like, what evidence do you have of that? And all of her, and she responded, and it was a pretty long post, and I read everything she said. And it was, she determined that because of her personal experience with the men that she attracts into her life, that men are intimidated. And I'm like, okay. Now I haven't responded back to her, but maybe she's watching. I don't know, but I will be getting back to you on that because your perspective.
I don't think men care.
Is your perspective?
Right.
It sounds like she's got trust issues. I mean,
it's to be explored. It's definitely to be explored. Yeah.
I don't know the fine details of her situation, but being that I'm a man,
right?
Most men don't care about that.
Right.
I think the problem maybe she's seeing is that she thinks these accomplishments will impress a man, and really it replaces a man.
Right.
So like the problem she might be having is because she's so focused on all this stuff, a man sees that and he's like, I don't really need that. I don't need money. I don't need nobody who's like chasing their,
Right.
I don't need nobody who's gonna be like me in this relationship.
Right. Right.
So like where is there room for you if you're gonna be him?
Right.
Right.
So now why he gonna be there?
Right.
See, okay, so
like that might be more closer to what.
And that ain't intimidation, man.
No, it's not intimidation. They're just like, you already got me.
It's logic.
You get out of here.
It's logic.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I'm not
goes back to
needed.
what I'm saying. That on her part. That's a lot because what is she trusting in?
Right.
She's putting all her energy into all these things, trying to make herself something. So like exactly what you said, that's a trust issue.
Right.
So it's like he's looking for her to show up in the relationship and she ain't there.
Right. Yeah.
So you can't have a relationship by yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if she's saying this is what she wants, but the question is, what is she doing to make space for a relationship?
Right.
No, you can have one by yourself.
Well, that's a different show.
Exactly.
But that is the thing though. Like people want to be independent and then also have all the benefits of having like a companion or a partner.
Yeah.
Right.
So like you want to be like you. Well, you can't tell what you don't say what to do. It's like no. But if we are partners,
but when you coming over,
yeah, like, that's not how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
right? So okay. When our brother Kevin Samuels was alive and kicking, he was doing his thing. There was all this pushback, and I watched a little bit of him, but I actually watched more because for whatever reason, because he's no longer there to manage his product,
Content.
his content, that everybody's using it now.
Right.
So I see a lot of it now, and what I realize is all he was saying is, if you get to have your preference, the men you want get to have their preference
Right.
also.
Absolutely.
Right. Or even simpler, if you built this perfect man or this perfect person, then that person that you built, would he choose you?
Right.
And that shit make you look at yourself and be like, you either gonna be a realistic or you gonna be in fairy tale land. And I've seen both ways. I've seen people get it and be like, okay, I get what he's saying.
Right.
And I've also seen people say, well, I'm supposed to settle? No, you're not settling.
right. That's where you are.
Yeah, you getting where you
earned this.
It's hard to look at yourself if you've never looked at yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean.
Right.
That's a lot of what that's all it was. I mean, people. He had a different approach how he did it, but his point was, you're saying this is what you aspire to, this is what you want. But you got to deal. The real issue is you got to deal with you first.
Right.
And that's what he was trying to bring home. It's like,
Yeah.
look,
It's like if you are all that you say you are,
right,
then you should be able to say to me what
right.
that is.
right,
And be able to take every question I give you and actually answer the question.
Right.
But when that wiggles, when they start wiggling and dancing, and what's that? Start doing the Harlem Shake.
Right.
I'm like, okay, he got, you know, they're not comfortable now.
Yeah, because you know the funny thing about Kevin Samuels is he started doing the same thing to men.
Yes.
That's but it's just men not necessarily used to accountability, but they used to getting the blood raw truth.
Right.
They used to somebody being like, well, you're not gonna get a fine woman because you're fat.
Right.
Let's move on.
Right.
And men are used to that, so they just be like, oh, okay, how much is the pussy? You know what I mean? Like,
They can't do it that way. They can do it this way.
Right. Get in there,
yeah. So yeah, and so now, and it was like, I mean, we've talked a little bit about this before, and I, as a life coach, I see it. I saw it, and I see it all the time. Well, there's an idea of the idea that people want to be true. When you question that, and you ask them to explain that in their own language, they can't do it. It's extremely challenging. And I go, well, you know, so when you say so and so, well, give me your definition. No. Use your own definition.
Right, yeah.
Use your own definition and then explain it to me. And they challenge. It's extremely challenging.
Yeah,
and,
I like to ask it like I genuinely don't know. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What is that? What is that? You read that somewhere?
Right.
And then they start explaining.
Right.
Then they gotta show off. Then you just take it in, let it happen.
Yeah.
man,
I've been learning too. I learned to just be quiet and let them talk.
Yes.
Because you know like
That's
you know like how you thinking, what you saying don't look how it doesn't look like what you saying. So when you be like, yo, well, this guy never make time for me. I'm like, well, do you make time for you?
Right.
You make time for him, or do you make time for you?
Right.
Well, no, but I make time for him. Okay, so
If you don't make time for you, you taught him to not make time
so
for you. That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. That's
y'all
how.
don't make time for
Y'all know that. Y'all we don't make time for you.
Yeah, you make time.
We make time for me.
You make time for me,
but we don't make time for you because you don't make time for me.
Like in leadership, I do a lot of leadership consulting. One of the principles is you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right. And a lot of times people are talking. They're not talking. They don't really know what they don't know.
Right.
Until they start talking, and then they have an audience and a space to listen.
Right.
And that's when they come to the realization of, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And
Right.
so a lot of what they're doing is they're it's kind of like the covers are off, and now
Right.
you're trying to backtrack, out the spot. You in the lion's den, and you in it now.
Yeah. There's that story that they have in their head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When they have to tell their story out loud
crazy.
and other people are listening to them, it's almost like they're listening to themselves really for the first time.
Right.
And that don't make, and what I'm saying don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But hopefully nobody won't challenge what I'm saying.
That's right.
and I'll be able to get away
in
with
this
it.
world,
But you can't, you can't come to the barbershop.
But that's
and do that.
But that ain't just a barbershop anywhere.
but now it's been relegated to like the barbershop, bro. Because like in any other place where you question, you can gaslight it. You can be like, well, you don't see me, or no, you hate women, or you hate men.
Right.
Or none of this is. I'm having an honest conversation between me and you.
Right.
And I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm responding based on what you say.
Right.
I don't hate you. I don't think less of you. I don't think that you don't deserve you. I don't think you don't deserve what you think you deserve. None of those things. It's just like when you say something, and I've actually listened to you, and then I respond based on what you have said.
Right.
Then you can't gaslight. You can't be like, well, it's because you don't like me, or you hate women, or you hate men, or you hate this, or you don't see me.
What's for me, I see as a sad thing is, you've been talking like this your entire life. Nobody around you was honest with you enough to like ask you the kind of questions if I'm making you feel uncomfortable now and you're in your 40s, wow.
But that's like, this sounds crazy. We see this a lot. It's in other communities too. I'm speaking of the black community. A lot of this because a lot of people got a lot of trauma, and the people around them got the same trauma, and so You're in the community. Everybody's like you. It's cancer. Every cell looks alike.
A liar will let you lie to them.
Right. So you can't be in health. Like you got to be in a healthy space.
Right.
So you have to have people and be willing to be accountable.
Right.
You know, and that's a choice. You don't have to open yourself up and be accountable to people. But you have people that's dealing with stuff. Like they start talking. They 40 years old, and you hear 15 years old come out.
Right.
You know, and they never dealt with it.
Right.
So this is literally in 30, what's that? However many years, 30 years, this is the first time in their life they're being confronted with themselves.
Right.
For real.
Right.
You know, and that's what a lot of it is. So even going through that experience, that you want to call it the coming out experience or the exposure, that's trauma. So now there's the guilt, there's the shame on all the same things that they felt initially. But a lot of people, you know, they're never connected to something, you know, psychological. They're not going to look at it from the standpoint of mental health, you know, or trauma. But that's honestly that's what a lot of it is, and that's not everything, but that's what a lot of it is.
And that shit calls like suspended development, like you talking about, where it's like that trauma you've never addressed. So like when you face with that moment where it's like quote unquote triggering, you go back to where you were triggered.
That's right.
You go back to 12, and you react like you 12.
Yeah.
You receive it like a 12-year-old would receive it, with disdain or irrationality or emotional outbursts.
Whatever wasn't confronted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you left under the blanket.
Who hit women or who hurt you?
Right.
I think that's laughable to me.
Right.
That's the wokeisms.
Who hurt you?
That's the Trojan horse. That's the woke Trojan horse.
Right.
It's like all of these regurgitated responses.
Yeah, like when you haven't even thought what you just asked me, you didn't even thought it through. Right. I was in the barbershop a few weeks ago, and I was talking to like some women, and I was talking about marriage, and I was like, man, marriage is this, marriage is that, whatever. And they was like, you how you know? I was like, yeah, I was married. And it was like, well, your ex-wife must have hurt you. And I was like, I haven't mentioned my ex-wife. I haven't said anything bad about her. I was just saying that marriage is fundamentally this, and I've explained my point. I probably said it in a joking way, and it was lighthearted, but I have no disdain for anybody.
Right.
I'm telling you that based on what we think it is, this is what it actually is.
Right.
From my opinion.
But see, you was fucking with their fantasy.
Right, but
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You fuck with their fantasy, so they're like, oh, wait a minute. Something bad must happen to you because the fantasy I had.
Right. And you know,
and in my fantasy.
You know what's crazy? These women, they had a similar understanding of marriage. Right. It's just that when I say it plainly that way, it's like, no, but you can love somebody and marry them. It's like, nah, I didn't say any of that. I say it's probably not a good idea to love somebody just because you love them. Right.
Not to marry somebody just because, yeah. Mm-hmm. And their idea of love. Man, listen.
It's material.
I'm very familiar with the Bible. Not as familiar as I used to be, but I'm very familiar with the Bible. And so when I'm having a conversation, and we're talking about sisters, because that's primarily who I deal with. Mm-hmm. We're talking to sisters who are raised in a Christian background. They know Jesus. Mm-hmm. And we start talking about love. I say, well, that passage, they think they do. That passage where it says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That passage is supposed to be, as I understand it, a passage that explains and demonstrates God's love, right? And in that, it talks about giving and it talks about sacrifice. Mm-hmm. It don't say nothing about receiving or getting anything. Right. It's about giving and it's about sacrifice. So when I say to them, if you are getting with someone and you're saying that you love them and they love you because of what you are getting or what you're planning on getting, I'm saying, according to your way of living, that's not love. Right. According to your way, that's not love. And the most common reaction I get is, so I'm not supposed to get nothing. So what am I getting in a relationship for?
But you
What
know,
am I getting married for? I ain't supposed to get. I'm just supposed to not get nothing.
you know the funny thing about I think you
You
can
are getting something.
I think you can attest to this, right? Like a lot of people who consider themselves Christian have not really read the Bible with understanding.
We don't have time. Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you? It's an amalgam. So it's like you got to study, you got to cross-reference, you got to do a lot of stuff more than just actually read the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. Like it's only.
I think you hit a good point, and I'm gonna go in a different direction and say, so you're looking at principle and concept, right? It's not, these are words in the book, but it's understanding. So if we're coming from a Christian perspective, right? So we're talking about inspiration, but there are ways and methods to study. So there's reading, there's meditation, there is memorization. Then you have a whole complete separate section of research. So you're getting into hermeneutics, all that. But once you've done all that, that's intellectualized learning and right. But then there's also spiritual application. So it has to go beyond your intellect.
Right.
It has to be so then you have to connect the soul. There has to be the mind, the emotion, and the will. So there has to be, and then the spiritual dynamic of building relationship. Well, a lot of people, what you're saying is, they're Christians, and no disrespect to Bill Clinton, but they're Christian like Bill Clinton is a Christian.
But that was disrespectful to say.
Right. That's right. Because everything is because you got to look at application, right? So you're married, right? So in the context of you had an understanding, initially when you came into your relationship, and as you grew in your relationship, you understood, man, this is, it's a lot deeper than these materialistic, physical, tangible things. So there's a connection in marriage that's completely ethereal. So like you all are connected in spirit, where you have an understanding of one another and how each other moves, thinks, feels. No word, you don't even need language,
Right.
To communicate on that level. And so, going back to what you're saying, when you're talking about it from that standpoint, I would say it this way. I love your example, which you gave with the young lady, but you just ask somebody and it doesn't matter if they're a person of faith or not.
Mm-hmm.
You just say, why, if you ask them, why do you want to get married?
Right.
And just let them talk.
Yes. And they will tell you.
They're going to tell you exactly.
Right.
They're going to tell you why they.
Right.
You're gonna hear everything you need to hear in that statement, and where they are, and whether they're, I don't like to say if they're ready, but if they're
ready,
I would say if they're ready to be responsible in the commitment to what it is they're wanting to commit to, because it's more of a contract. That's a whole nother.
Right.
But people they'll tell you exactly what they're thinking.
But that's what it is, though, man.
Yeah.
It's because the thing
not
is,
thinking.
right? Because people get married, they be like, "Yo,
they not thinking at all."
When we got married, like everything changed. It's like, nah, it's just because what you think marriage is different than what that person think marriage is. And y'all didn't discuss that. Y'all discussed all the things why you should get married and what's so great about it.
Yeah.
What you bring to the table, all that stuff that's really
she like the order from Denny's.
Right.
Yeah, she's like, that's all.
Yeah, you gonna pay all the bills, and then I'm gonna do this, and it's like none of that stuff is like that's not spiritually yoking at all. That's just like some structural stuff that's been placed on you.
Right. You just running around with you running around with an idea that somebody
else gave.
That somebody handed to you. I call it a hand-me-down. Somebody done handed this down to you. You run around with it trying to make it your life, and then you're trying to make everybody around you make your version of your life be what you imagine it being. Right. And even your children. Black put a post up where he said something about a child being born with a job. Right? Like the parent is having the child so that the child in some way is serving the parent's need. Mm-hmm. That child is born with a job. That you got pregnant with the intention of having this child and giving this child his job to make your life to be something in your life that makes you feel good about being
And
a human.
emotional support.
Yeah, emotional support. Yeah.
Right. Right. It's wild, right?
That's why everybody got these little dogs now.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine having a baby for to be that little dog for you. That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. See it all the time.
Yeah, that's more common than we just talk about.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When you think about it, I've actually began to do the work I was asking a question to a lot of women that had children, and most of the women that I've asked the question to, and when I say most, I'm saying I probably let me say this better. Almost all of them had the child so that the child would serve a need.
I mean, you know what I represent. What that child going to give you, that same thing that little dog going to give you. Unconditional love.
Right.
What looks like unconditional love.
I mean,
Right? Yeah, I mean, I get you. I'm with
a
you.
dog,
I'm with
you can yell at that dog. You can not feed that dog. You can kick that dog in the ass. That dog going to be right there, right back. A baby, you can whoop it. You can yell at it. You can do this. You can do that. It's going to be right back, giving you love, trusting your guidance, listening to you.
The thing with a dog is you can get it wrong and that dog dies. You get it wrong with a child, that child has to.
No, that child can die too. It happens every day.
But if it doesn't, it has to take care of you later.
Right.
So you building your own bond.
I love that one.
I mean, that's why you're gonna eat right and take care of yourself, so that way you ain't slumped over and somebody gotta feed you when you're 70 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, you are running that risk, but eventually, as generations go by, like I feel like this generation of like our generation, like 40 around there, this and that, like having that forgiveness and compassion, understanding that the duress that your parents were under, and so that their actions were just a reflection of the experiences that they had. Like,
I mean, it's
like
cool.
not that it's just
It's cool
so
to have
personal.
compassion.
It's not personal, but no, it's real. It's compassion, but compassion is just a compass that navigates you to what is real.
Yeah,
you
but
know what I'm saying?
it's like the thing is like I think
That's just the truth.
I
Even
think-
if you did this to me, it wasn't personal.
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't like you chose, I'm gonna hate this kid, I'm gonna treat this kid like this, like for what was the end game.
Yeah, but I think what we do, especially like if you try to have a conversation with your parents, I don't know, it might just be my parents, but just like at a certain age, you have people think because there was no malice that there was no implemented tragedy or trauma that was inflicted.
That's right.
Oh, I did the best I could. Like that's okay that you did the best you could, but that doesn't.
I mean, I wasn't.
It's deflection. You know, that's deflection.
And so because you love your parent, you accept that as deflection, but that doesn't help with you having real understanding and growth. Because you be like, well, I know that you don't know that you don't think that's fucked up, and I love you. But in real life, when you deal with anybody else, you don't have that same like, hey, I know you just going through what you're going. You never been with a woman who screwed you over. You was like, hey, I know you just going through the
but
motions, baby.
that woman ain't give you. That woman ain't carry you. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
but
They
it-
choose to bring you to this world.
and that's
You know
fair.
what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that compassion is not fair, depending on who it is. I'm just saying that we can't sweep under the rug what happened though. Like I know you didn't mean it to happen, but this what happened.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that our generation is like doing the work. Like, you know what? Since you want to stay stuck there and you don't want to admit and you want to deflect, that's fine. You forcing me to go within and do the work.
Right.
And it's going to reflect on the children that I have in the life that I live. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to get that happy ending.
Right.
Where some people, they can't accept the fact that they can't get the happy ending.
Right.
Then you got depression and drugs and suicide and this and that. But a lot of us are like, you know what? They're just fully committed to not being able to see it, or maybe they just really truly can't see
Don't
it
see
because
it,
they
yeah.
bogged under that much trauma. So you know what? If I don't go within myself and work through this stuff myself, then I'm gonna be them.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
why I
like,
always like when
I'm gonna grace you, But I know I got work to do, and I'm no longer bound to the fact that you got to help me get any type of closure or healing.
But that's why, like, even if I have this conversation with somebody or my woman or my mom, like, I say, like, yo, this happened, this is how I dissected that, how it affect my life now, and that's not okay, but it's okay.
Right.
It's not like people think because you are assigning accountability, that means that it's a fault.
It's like a whooping.
Yeah, like it's an ugly fault.
Like a whooping.
I did the best I could. Like, no, listen, I'm not saying that you didn't do the best you could. I'm not even saying that you did it with malice and forethought. But the damage has been done, and it's important that we address it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you did it.
Yeah, you did it. And it's okay.
I hear what you're saying, and maybe I'm hearing it. It sounds like y'all saying the same thing, and I hear what you're coming from you're coming from this perspective of individual responsibility outside of the issue.
Right.
You're saying, I need, for my healing and closure, I'm going to address it.
Right. Exactly.
But and if you're not, that, and I can relate to that. I had to go through that with my mother and my father, different situations. But you have to do that. Yeah, you did the best you could, but yeah, it was jacked up.
Right.
And it was some stuff that was dark and ugly, and it wasn't cool.
Right.
Like, regardless, and so, my mother, she always had a hard time dealing with that.
Right.
But once again, like you're saying, you have to have those conversations.
Right.
And still, and I hear what you're saying. That's, and I know this is that. It's grace. It's grace because when you're coming to them, that's love. The fact that you're coming to them, and it's like, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is gonna hurt like hell, but we're gonna have to have this conversation,
right?
Because number one, I have to move on and get past it, and I have to address it with you, and I have to expose it to you, so that you understand. You have to understand it's not healthy.
Right.
You have to understand. I know your narrative, but that was trauma. That was trauma. That was abuse. That was whatever it was. And be able to name it. And in doing that, you're actually, it's uncomfortable, but it's actually, and that's why I love what you were saying too, you're also freeing that other person.
Right.
If they choose, but once again, this goes back, you got to listen.
You're presenting the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I haven't met any solitary soul on this planet that I've ever met who has not had these issues that they have to address with their parents.
Right.
And so it's just addressing the issue
real.
separate from separate the issue from the love I have for you.
Right.
And it's like, because now that I'm a father, I misstep and make mistakes. But what I do now, or at least I try to address it in that moment.
Right.
Hey, one time my son, my bonus son, didn't do something he's supposed to do, so I opened the door when he was in the bathroom in the shower and said, hey, you need to get this done before you finish anything else.
Right.
And then when he said, hey man, he basically said in his way that you just encroached on my privacy.
Right.
And so I have to, in that moment, say, you know what, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's how I talked to him. That was fucked up. I should have did that.
Right.
But you also have to do what you have to do because you are responsible for that. And I shouldn't have encroached on your privacy, but I meant exactly what I said in that moment.
Right.
So like it's important that we address it at that moment. So he could be like, yo, he did this, I didn't like it, it made me feel this way, but he did it for this way, he explained it to me, and he apologized for doing it that way.
There.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, you got to help your son.
It's real, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like our generation,
That's good stuff.
and more, not just our generation, but I'm just seeing like a big thing in our generation of being that balance.
Right.
Now you see people speaking with their kids, explaining things to their kids, you know what I'm saying? Like giving their kids freedom to like do certain things and make mistakes, or you got in trouble, you dropped the grade, okay, instead of me, I gotta go up there, I worked too hard for you. It's like, okay, I saw your last report card, the grade was this, so I know what you're capable of. So what's going on at school? Is there a distraction? Is there this? Is there that? Okay, so what do we need to do to get back on track? Let's go to the teacher and see what you need to do to make up. You know, I know what you're capable of. I know what you can do. So let's get it going. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the rah, let me take you in the room and whoop you, and somehow your grade's gonna get better, because you don't want another one of these. It's like it's crazy, man.
But it's like the thing that I had to realize, and it's like a woman told me that she was like, yo, everybody don't think the way you think. So I had to realize that everybody is not self-aware.
Oh no,
everybody not. There's a lot of people who have these passed down ideologies that they have never addressed. It doesn't make sense to them, but they just know their mama did it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So like everybody doesn't have a certain level of accountability. Everybody don't have an understanding that your children are not your property.
Right.
Like it's because there's doctrine. That's why like when we talk about the Bible, you talk about the Bible where you have to have a reasonable understanding of place and time, recording literature. So like you not just taking the Bible and being like the Bible says. Like you got also the people who actually put the pen to paper on the Bible believe a certain thing about women. They believe a certain thing about people. They believe a certain thing about children. They believe that your children and women are one and the same, and so are your slaves. Like, so you have to understand that you have to put these things in the proper perspective to have an understanding of what you're reading and what you're passing down to your kids.
Right. Yeah.
Right, but
understand the setting.
But it's like, but you don't. That's what's crazy, right?
You don't.
Ideally, but you don't. You can just do whatever. You just do it.
And that's the scary part because we have, especially like in our community, we have this thing where if you survived it, then it had to be okay.
Oh my God! It worked for me. Hey,
her mama did it. Her mama did it. It's like your mom was a janitor and her mom worked at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with none of those professions, but like it kind of didn't work.
But then it's like everybody's different, right? So now we're witnessing of a parent has multiple children, but is aware of each child and how to deal with each child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why
ain't you more like your brother? We ain't doing that no more.
This kid may need a little bit more of a whatever. You're gonna go out back. You're gonna do push-ups until you can't do push-ups no more. Until you cry and you can't do no more. And we're gonna talk about it. This kid may need just a talk and a pep talk, or you never know. But you have to get to understand these kids where it was like
know what they are.
The parents just had one blueprint. Like my grandma had one blueprint.
All y'all the same.
Yeah, this is how I do it. And all three of y'all completely three different personalities, everything, born at different times and different situations. But this is how my grandma did it, and this is how I'm doing it. Right. And I
didn't turn out bad.
And you watching, right? So
and that's recent.
That's wild, right?
That's recent.
That?
So
like, watching your kids go crazy.
Cause how old are you?
I am. How old am I? I didn't forget. 57, 58, something like that. 58.
Okay. I'm 54. I'll be 55 in June. So I would say.
I got to remember how old I am.
I would say probably with our generation I would say would be the first beginnings of what you're talking about, that change.
Right.
But that I would say in our generation, that's when we started challenging sort of the norm to say something about this ain't right.
And I think we started late.
Correct.
I think we started late. I agree with you that we started doing it. I think we started doing it late. But the way, so what's happening is for their generation, they're getting it earlier than we got it.
Right.
And they're doing better with it.
Right.
I think overall.
Right. I'm saying this respectfully.
Yes, sir.
But we were the first generation out of family slavery. You know
yes, sir.
So
yes,
like
sir.
we were like post Reconstruction, right? Our generation was the first one that came in this like, okay, mama, why you gotta beat me every time? You know, because nobody would challenge that, and so that goes. But that's, if I could be honest, that was cultural too. You know. And in the same way, some of the things that Black was talking about, referring to faith, a lot of those things are not biblical; they're cultural,
Right.
But we call it and we say, "Oh, this is what we're taught in faith." No, that's not what the faith teaches. That's what the culture. That's how anybody can take something and manipulate it and use it for their benefit.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it true.
Right.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
so once again, the operative word, true. But you have to. It's being able to see. I always talk in spirit in principle and concept. So in principle and concept, like what you were saying, and kind of what you were introducing. So you have the generation that started thinking differently. Then that next generation of kids, they were the first to experience that. Then the next generation of kids, they take that process and then they develop it on a whole nother level. So
Right.
yeah, so because you're where are you now? You're what? Your 40s? Okay. So yeah, so perfect. Yeah, so you're right there, at that precipice, and then your kids it's gonna be.
Oh, I'm looking at my daughter. I'm just looking. They're just like aware of everyone.
Yeah.
They making sure they don't step on nobody's toes or say anything to offend anybody, but still standing up for what they believe is right. And being an activist. Like my daughter, she's doing all that, but she's a social science major.
Okay. Yeah.
So like she's so focused on like understanding what people go through to know like how to best be able to serve them. And I mean I commend that because the apple don't fall far from the tree, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get past 9th grade, but what she's doing is just taking the baton and taking off with it. And my son, I remember he asked me something about the Super Bowl, and I was like, well, it's pretty cool that it's two black dudes, and he said, oh, don't make it about race. And I said, I ain't making it about race. That's just something that's never happened before. And he was like, oh, but like he tried to like outwoke me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, oh my God, like
Come on, Dad, man.
he's 10. He's 10. Like this man was like, bro, don't do that. Like
I ain't gonna lie.
he got Mexican friends, Haitian friends. Like, he got his squad of friends. They come from everywhere around the planet.
Yeah.
They're like these little super kids.
I kind of felt some
I
kind
was
of
like,
way
dang,
about
I
that
like
too, because
that.
I was like,
That's not what I mean.
yeah, right, because that's the frame we're in. So we go, oh man, like two black quarterbacks. But it's like, but why is that a thing? Yeah,
Right.
And he's too young. And he's too young to grasp that concept. So that's why I was like, no, that's Jay. That's literally never happened before.
Hey, but you know, like why? Like,
know it's progress.
I just want to see something that's never happened. Like, this has never happened before.
It was like an anchor. He was like, yeah, it's the first time two black quarterbacks competing in the Super Bowl, and coincidentally enough, it's Abraham Lincoln's birthday. What are you talking about?
Nah, that's crazy.
We're not gonna let y'all get credit.
Nah.
He basically was like, because Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves.
No, that was crazy. Nah. How you found a way to take credit for that, bro, on the back end?
Yo, man,
Nah, that's crazy.
What's wild is both of the quarterbacks are mixed though too.
yeah.
So it actually was like
Jalen Hurts is?
Jalen Hurts. He's not mixed.
I didn't think so.
I don't know. Well, then I'm wrong then.
I thought they both mixed too. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm the
I thought
one.
they were both mixed. But I could
I
be
didn't.
wrong about
But
Jalen
no, I
Hurts,
don't know.
so.
But I don't know his parents, so I just looked at him and thought maybe he wasn't.
I might have to look it up. You might be, huh?
But
Yeah, I could be wrong. about it.
Classification's everything.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm the one that raises my son to like make it about the condition of the content of somebody's character.
Character, right?
And that they hard and like that they're ambitious and they're going for things and they treat people like that's what I've been raising him as. And in that moment he was like,
he received it.
he was like, are you not making it about that?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, like what are you talking
this
about?
is two hardworking guys.
You said none of this matters, and now you talking about it matters. but yo,
That was a generational thing though. He don't know.
Yo, the way kids simplify things, it puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It makes you have to teach it.
yeah. So it's like so you said that like even my kid like his mom told him that it's okay to cry, so he just cry about anything. So it's like not my biological son, but it's like my mom said that it's okay to cry, and it's like yeah, but don't make yourself cry. So it's like you have to like show
like, it's just bubble gum.
Yeah. Because it'll be like he looking in the mirror, watching himself cry, and it's like now I want you to understand that it's okay to have feelings, but you can't live there in that feeling. So what you're doing is you making yourself be sad,
Right.
instead of like.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like,
And
but
you're
it. So it's like it's important that you have an open dialect with your kids, a conversation with your kids, so that you can have nuanced conversations.
Right.
You already told.
Right.
them.
It's not okay to cry about everything.
Right. And
It's
that's
okay.
the balance, though. So, like, if there was no man there to recognize
Right.
it,
Exactly.
kind of start a dialogue about it.
Exactly.
He just lives out like that. Like,
Right.
no, this is what we do.
Right.
No,
And then
yeah,
like
and
crying
then-
about everything.
And when you 20, that ain't
Then
that's
But
not gonna be a good look.
But it's like even having those conversations where like I was talking to my girl, like I was like, a child needs a man he needs a man and a woman in his life. And she was like, no, but what if they have a bill? It's like ideally, yeah, it's great if he doesn't have that primarily as a dynamic. Ideally, it's great that he has a village and all these people can help and his uncles and
Yeah, they ain't there chastising them.
Right,
You're not gonna let them either.
because it is different it's different for you to have. For your mom to provide nurturing and allow you to, if you feel like you want to cry, let it out. It's okay but you also need a male figure, his father, not even a male figure, but his dad, because it's different. Like that's what people don't understand. Like your wife will be the disciplinarian, but really your dad has got to be like, all right, man, we ain't gonna talk about this no more, right? Yeah, we're gonna talk about this no more. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's something about your father saying, don't do that is completely different than your dad saying, yo, don't do that. I mean, your mother
mom
saying,
saying,
don't do that.
Yeah, it is.
And so it's you need both. You need your mom to be scrape your knee to be like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And then you also need your dad to be like, hey, sometimes you scrape your knee, man.
Yeah.
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 That's right.
And so that he
And then
understands.
next time he's like, yeah, man, see, it happened again.
Yeah.
You know, so it builds on him.
Right.
For real. But that's
When his mom comes, wipe it off, put a band-aid on it, it still feels good.
Yeah. It's
But
the balance.
he also
He knows that
Thanks,
it's not
Mom.
the only time that this may happen.
he might tell his mom like, hey man, it happens.
Yeah.
She might be crying. He be like, mom, sometimes you just scrape your knee, mom. Don't worry about it. Get on out of there.
good.
He start consoling her with his feminine.
Right,
Mom,
right.
don't worry about it, man. I hurt myself. It happens.
Yeah, that's my son now. He's 9. Man, this would have been a while ago, right? But he learning how to ride his bike without training wheels, right? He fell one time though. Man, he ran in the house. He didn't want nobody to see him crying. Went all the way in his room, like limped in there with one leg. Yeah, trying not to show weakness.
So you like, hey, you good? Yeah, I fell off the bike and whatever. That's like, my son's mom.
It's
called,
crazy. He wasn't good this time.
My son's mom called me.
He wasn't good.
My son's mom called me and she was like, he cursed. You need to talk to him. And I said, well, did you use the curse word right? Jeremy, don't. Come on, not now.
Yeah, it's like when you was fighting in school today.
Yeah.
You was fighting in school. You
Context.
was fighting in school. Did you win?
So I just got to talk to him. Hey, man, your mom, that's not what she down. You live under her roof. She take care of the business. She don't want you cursing there. You don't curse in there. All right, I got it, Dad. My bad. I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, kids really understand that, especially boys.
Yeah, because I can't be like, don't curse.
Right. That's right.
And my dad go on YouTube and he go on YouTube and be like, Dad, this is 6 videos where you're cursing.
I'm the goat. Point that out, man. I'm the goat.
Hey, don't call me on my bullshit. You know better than that.
But that helps with boys though, man, because if your dad's in the house, then your dad can tell you hey, you know how your mama is, and then it starts registering.
Well, he
and
understands.
he's like, yeah, she is gonna trip.
Yeah.
So then your dad be like, you know how she be, man. Don't make me have to come in here.
Yeah. For real. At that point,
Yeah, it changes everything.
At that point,
you're like,
That's right.
yeah,
because
you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like as a kid, you he know her.
And your son, your son will be like, I ain't gonna put my dad through that. So I'm
Yeah.
right, man.
Then y'all be like on teams.
Yeah, he'll be like, Come on, like you know if she say I gotta come here, I gotta come in there, and you're gonna be in trouble, man. Yeah, you're right, man. Let me just go ahead and not be fucking off. Yeah. Stop saying fucking off.
All due respect, mothers do it with their daughters.
Yeah, they
Same
do.
thing.
Yeah.
It's the same, So it takes a man to make a boy a man.
I mean, there was a time with my daughter, I said, man, I think you handled that right. She used violence, and I said, you actually handled that absolutely right. But I was like, I'm not mad at you at all. But she got like ISS or whatever, and her mom was just like, because her mom and her, they're just both super kids, and they just get the highest GPAs and do all that stuff. No blemishes. I was like, but now moving forward, do you think there was anything you could have done before it got to that situation? But in the moment, I understand. But I'm like, could you have went and got someone? Right. Could you have went and got someone first and then said something about what happened? But I don't think she did. I think she just
handled the responsibility.
I think it took a bite out of his arm.
And choke.
This boy, he put his arm around my daughter. He told her to stop singing, and she was like, "Who are you?" And then he tried to be like, "Stop singing," and put his arm around her or whatever, try to be smooth about telling her what to do, and she bit his arm.
Yeah, she liked it.
And so she bit him hard. And so her mama called me. She was so mad. I had to take off work and I had to come up here and da 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 da. She just so upset about how it
affected her day. She's missing what's going on with her daughter.
About how it threw off her routine, that she wasn't thinking in the moment that this dude violation of our child, and she did something right in the moment, bit that same arm he wrapped around her. She took a bite out of it. It was like, don't touch me, don't ever touch me.
But I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking about 20 years from now. She's never gonna forget it. She's gonna be like, "Yo, Dad, you remember?"
Yeah.
She's
because
the
issue is think about what she gained at that moment. She was empowered, like that, because we look at the mother, she's looking at it like, man, I didn't take this time out. But it's like, it's not, no disrespect, but it's not about you. It's just, this was something and so that moment was a defining moment for her, in her life. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, she had to do as I said, but look.
I was like, you did the right thing. I told her that. You did the right thing. You didn't do anything wrong.
Hey, but that's why.
I just said, now moving forward, is there a way, well, if you could, but in that moment, she did absolutely what she was supposed to do.
But you're talking about the balance between
but I had to say something for
balance
mama, right?
the balance that's present when mom and dad are there.
Yeah, because every point that you guys both made was important.
Right.
Sometimes it just works in reverse.
Right.
Hey, you gotta defend yourself, especially as a woman in this structure that we live. You gotta do that, and then you also have to say, hey, before you make a decision, you have to look at how it affects everybody in your life that cares about you. So yeah, your mom had to take off work, and your mom is your primary provider and caregiver. So she can't just be taking off work because you made a decision that affects all of us. Right. So it's important that you give the whole detail. Right. So and sometimes you gonna give what's important to you. Her immediate importance was, I gotta take off work, and so she gonna project that when she see you. Yeah. Hey, what the fuck, man? She not even thinking about, because the thing is, I don't even know your daughter's mom, but I know that your daughter's mom would probably react in a similar fashion. She probably wouldn't have bit her, but she would have been like, hey, get your arms off me. I'm gonna sing what I want to sing, because she's a black woman and they kind of wired a little similar.
I don't think her mom never even been in a fight, to be honest.
But she wouldn't let nobody play with her.
Nah.
You don't gotta fight, but you gotta, hey, don't put your arms around me. I'm singing.
Nah. But this is the thing.
And then sing louder.
But I can say this different climate for the mom and my daughter, because when my daughter's mom was in high school, she also had cousins there that were like big football country boys. And see, so it's like when men know that you have a village of men, they don't try you. But my daughter didn't. My daughter didn't have that.
Right.
So it's like he whether he knew that or not in that moment, but if he would have known she got these big football playing, just swole for no reason cousins, he wouldn't have did that.
Right.
Nobody could have messed with my daughter's mom in school
but
because
that's why
her cousins was coming. She got to do nothing.
All those variables matter though.
Yeah.
That's why it's cool to like have those conversations like where you be like, yo,
They love me.
like sometimes because the funny thing is how you break it down and how you analyze it. She probably hasn't even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Because her life is different. She never even thought about that because like you know not to play with me.
Right.
You know not to fuck with me because you know Jimbo, who was a 4-star recruit who just had a little running loss so he didn't go pro, is not gonna let you fuck with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like her lifestyle ain't even built that way. Nobody finna try her. She in a small town. She gonna sing it and people gonna say it behind her back. I don't think she can sing like that for real.
I was proud, man. I had a proud dad moment because I know that my daughter is not gonna let nobody disrespect her. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna let nobody disrespect her. That's not her get down.
And you know, girls and boys is so different. Like my daughter be on some shit at 11 months. I be talking to her like a regular person. Like, hey, please, don't do that, man. Like, I don't understand why you doing this. No reason for you to do it.
But it's those moments that won't be afforded with certain generations. But it's like our generation now. You got into it. Somebody disrespected you. You try to, like Mo said. He said the only thing he said to his kids if they get into it was, "Did you try to remove yourself from the situation?"
Right.
And if they say yes, they get a pass.
Right.
If they didn't try to remove themselves from the situation, they get in trouble.
Right.
Because his thing is, somebody bring it to you, try to remove yourself from the situation. If you can't, give them everything plus more.
Right.
So they know to never do it again and everybody else know too.
Right.
But he just said, did you try to get away from the situation? All right, you did.
Right.
They followed you. You smashed on them. All right, cool.
Right.
We good. Let's go get some ice cream.
But it's like, man, you
go sit at home for 10 days and cut the grass or whatever. You ain't do nothing wrong.
You definitely need a mom and a dad, man.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely do.
That balance is so beneficial to the child. I can't tell you the number of times where I watched my wife say something to the kids, and then she and I have to have a conversation later and then she was like, okay, I didn't even think about it like that.
Right.
And then I had a conversation with the child about something, and then later in the bedroom she talked to me about it. I'm like, okay, I didn't see it like that. Right. Because I'm generally going to operate from my perspective. Right. She's generally going to operate from her perspective. So now when you do that, after you're together for a little while, right, and the two of you have a willing spirit, you begin to make those adjustments. So now you're both always giving both perspectives. Right. So and then you're broadening that. And then when the children get a little older, their perspective becomes a part of it when you are aware that they are aware, right? Because that's why one of the things I enjoy about watching you guys with your children is your level of awareness is farther ahead than mine was when I was there, and then your children's level of awareness is so farther ahead than yours that when you guys are having these conversations with your children, I mean, I'm amazed. I think you guys are in a beautiful place, and I think your children are very fortunate to have you in their lives, because there's still some horrible parents in this world, and not that they're horrible because they want to be horrible. They just are doing what they think they're supposed to do, rather than I guess you say a simple way of saying it is learning how to be present.
Right.
Yeah. How to be present and be aware. Like, your child is a human being.
Right.
Your child is allowed to have a bad day. Right. Just like you're allowed to have a bad day, the child is allowed to have a bad day, and care for your child in that moment the way you want to be cared for in that moment.
And sometimes having a bad day, they throw a chair at the teacher.
Whoa,
that's a different. That's a different thing.
I threw a chair at a student one time, though.
But like,
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
so when I
I
was
put the
in,
desk on top of him and then jump on top of the desk. He playing too much. Yeah, he playing too much. He playing too
I hit
much.
somebody with a fold-up chair like wrestling. Never none of that.
Wow.
Well, see, well, me growing up, I was Little George.
Oh, yeah.
Out of my crew, I was the smallest guy. So when somebody did something, my response had to be big.
Right.
To let you know, okay, so and then you know, and if we tussled and you got me, you gonna have to see me tomorrow. We gonna do this. We gonna do this till I feel. It's always like, yeah, man, don't even mess with him because you know y'all gonna have to fight at school every day because you know he ain't through with it.
Yeah.
Right. So then after now, by the time I got out of elementary school, I didn't have no issues at all.
Yeah. I was worse because my friend was like 6'5" and 6'3". So I brought the noise and I was not to be dealt with.
Like when sometimes you got to make your when you're small in stature, you got to be big. You got to be big in other things.
Yeah.
So no, man, I'm digging it. Let me do this before we forget. I wanted to because there's some things I wanted to touch on, and we can get back into this. The goddamn, damn Tiger Woods.
that was a smooth move.
Yeah, I never loved Tiger Woods more, man.
That was a smooth move.
Yo, Tiger Woods told his woman, yo, you're going. You know what you need to do? You need to go on a solo trip, just you, and just do whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna send you to the spa in California.
And then when he dropped off, he said, "Hey, you can't come back here, man. I
He's
paid a
so
lot."
rich, he had all them locks changed that quick.
Yeah, they left. They was like in a van in the back already. Don't get out the van till we turn the corner.
Tiger was like, "Hey man, we had a good run."
He was like, "Sorry, man, guess I won."
And that's the thing out, right? Because Tiger Woods' house doesn't have like this regular Home Depot like door.
Oh no,
You better not.
Yeah, this
He
thing-
might have to just call in the satellite company and be like, change the code. Yeah. And they like,
Oh yeah,
I just handle it.
right.
Man, that thing was definitely planned out, man. That's cold blooded,
Hooked
man.
them up with the digital
And
lock.
she wants $30 million.
See, that's just I don't understand.
She wants 30.
They were married.
What?
No,
No,
She don't want $3,000.
that's his girlfriend.
She lived with him for like
$30 million.
5 years.
And and according to what I heard
They live here
reported,
in Florida. They don't have common law.
right? So according to what I heard
Stuff, maybe.
reported, that supposedly Tiger said that even after we break up, you can still stay in the house for 5 years.
Yeah, right.
And the people were talking about this like, ain't no way in the world.
Yeah, you can't hold no man.
told you that after we break up, you can still stay here.
I don't know, because you know what he told his ex-wife? He told her, give me like a couple of years when she wanted a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
He said, give me like 2 years to like try to like win you back and like earn your love again.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stay for those 2 years, he was going to add like, and if she wanted to leave after those 2 years, he was to give her like $75 million.
That was the ex-wife, though.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. But
And this
I'm
is
just
after
saying,
learning
he
that
got a
lesson.
track record of.
Right.
He has a previous history of saying, "I'm gonna sweeten the deal for you on the back end."
But his
Now,
wife.
you know he a sucker, man.
But his wife was
What
trying
should I
to.
say? He done some sucker stuff.
His wife was wanting to leave him. The deal ain't the same if I want to leave you. I ain't trying to win you back.
But
I'm
then
trying to
look,
get you to
that's
go.
but at the same time, even though it is comical, right? But a sucker move, you don't even got the cojones to look your woman in the eye and say, "I'm done with you."
Right.
He said, "Hey, I'ma got you all expenses paid."
No, but he,
I'm joking.
No,
Don't come back. That's a coward move.
He actually did have the cojones. He just know he had to get her to leave first.
Bruh,
and say, you can't come back.
no. This is my house.
You can't
Get
come
out.
back. No, that's not how it works.
He can
though.
say he wealthy. He can call the authorities.
No, it don't work like that. If you get bail and stuff.
Yeah.
You're right. If you've been living there for a certain amount of
Yeah,
time, right?
it's a
So
civil
he gotta
matter.
evict her. He has to evict her,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, or get her to get out. And then when
Because
she
they
gets
have those
out,
squatting laws and stuff.
Yeah.
So then she's still in those laws after what he did then.
But
it
now,
depends.
no.
It depends though.
You can't just lock the doors if she got squatters' rights.
No, but
if you don't have a key to get in, you can't get in.
Yeah.
You don't have access.
Yeah, that's
like you can't be here to squat.
Yeah.
But you changed the locks on me, don't I? But I've been getting mail here.
No, because
Jason,
can I litigate? I can't litigate.
No, the law it's only enforced if the person is physically there.
Yeah.
Right.
So once they physically leave,
That's why it's Cojones, because he got her to pack a
He
bag.
would have got a lawyer first.
He got her to pack a bag, and then he changed the lock.
This is how you're gonna have to do it.
right, once you off the property,
Yeah.
Right, I ain't wealthy. Right, of course he thought this.
And then
he probably was like, "Get your stuff."
So
he had to make it good. So he had to make it good.
And
So he's on the trip.
then he coherently let her know that you have been evicted. You cannot come back. In fact, I've actually changed the locks.
You can't give me a 30-day notice.
And Joy can't come
But you
back.
don't gotta give me 30 days.
You ain't gotta leave.
She didn't have a contract. Yeah, 30 days are contracts. You got to sign something for it to be binding to the 30-day
What
limit.
do I got a piece of mail here?
I don't know if that's gonna work if they got you out.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
You left willingly.
Well, this is what we need. This is
And
what we
they
need.
said, "Hey, don't come
We
back.
need your wife. This is
Come
what
back
we
and
need.
trust
This is what we
her."
need your wife. This is what we need your wife.
Yeah, she probably can tell us.
Hey,
what the
trust me.
parameters are.
Trust me.
She wasn't renting. She wasn't releasing.
Tiger Woods a billionaire. Trust me, he mapped it out before he did it.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
he mapped it out just based on what he went through last time.
Right.
Man. You can bet that.
Absolutely.
So what is the $30 million for?
Oh, that's her. We don't know.
She wanted.
That's what she wants.
The
Pain,
thing is,
suffering,
you can sue for anything in this world.
mental
You
anguish.
can sue for anything in this country.
Now she probably can say she can do a civil suit and say she gave up her lifestyle or her potential career. and stuff like that.
Oh,
so like that, and that's debatable. So you could win, you could lose.
She'll probably get $3 million because he'll probably settle out of court.
And does he have to pay for her legal team? They're not married.
It depends.
Well, people go for that, and when you start like proceedings and you file motions, you can go for that, but
And be like,
it's not necessarily they're not necessarily going to get it.
Somebody gonna take the case.
Yeah.
No.
Somebody.
Like one of those pay us on the back end guys.
Yeah. Somebody gonna take the case.
It depends on how invested Tiger is to not pay her anything.
Right.
Because
he
he
might
got
go
the lawyer.
hard.
Yeah, he got
Say
the
we settle
lawyer.
for $5 million.
He might go
Can I
hard
just say you
and
find
spend
this in my
10 on
girl?
litigation not
Just
to
so
pay
he
nothing to
not to pay
her.
nothing.
Damn.
Like he might spend 10
Yeah, I ain't giving
just
you
not
nothing.
to pay her.
I ain't giving you nothing. We gonna be on this
Now-
until
now that
this
you're
gonna be a
trying to
case
sue me,
until.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to sue me for $30 million?
I mean, but
Why would I?
Like
why
Irv
would I
got
give you anything.
Murder Inc. They spent $10 million to beat a $1 million Fed case. They essentially bankrupted them. The Feds essentially bankrupted them.
Well, that's the Fed's MO though, right? They go after. They're gonna freeze up your money and then make you spend all the rest.
They beat
So
the
if you
Fed
got
case.
so if you got any legal paper trail, they'll try to make you exhausted.
Yes.
And they know your numbers.
Dang.
They're the Feds. You turned in your numbers to them.
Yeah.
And they got access to everything that they can watch
They
it on.
spent $10 million to beat a $1 million money laundering case.
But that's for your freedom. So it wasn't even about the million.
And that shit was
about
different
the
anyway.
rest
Because
of the days.
they was trying to get somebody else.
Okay,
Dirty game. Damn, Tiger Woods.
Yes, it's dirty game.
Question 2, men. Do y'all believe or think that Tiger Woods tried to break up with this girl before he did what he did?
Of course.
That's because that was the thing that's in my
I don't
head.
know.
What was it about her that made him say, "I'm gonna have to do it like this"?
Right.
Because
I can't just say it's over.
If you've been with somebody for 5
Tiger's
years,
soft,
you know how,
dog.
No, but if you've been with somebody for 5 years, you know how they gonna react. to something.
Listen.
I don't know her. I just know my ex-wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it was her temperament.
Right. I ain't going nowhere.
And broke something.
Let me say
You've been to a public place.
Let me say this. Shout out to the big homie Tiger Woods, right? Shout out to the big homie Tiger Woods. A legend. Shout out to the big homie Tiger Woods, right? But come on, man. Tiger Woods was the top. He was like #1 in the world for like a decade straight, bro, or something crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's making all this money endorsed by everybody.
Right.
Bro, he didn't even have the cojones to let a woman know I'm not only gonna be with one woman.
Right. Well.
Bro, if I'm not even and I be like, hey, this is me.
Yeah, you don't know that though.
Cause I ain't wealthy.
No, you don't know that.
You don't know that.
She hit him in the head with that golf club, bro.
No, but he probably told her I'm out here pimping.
Man, that sound, bro. Stop. Did you hear the message? Hey, it's me, Tiger. Delete your name off your voicemail.
Listen.
Why would you say it's me, Tiger? You never heard that voicemail, bro?
No, but listen.
Bro, he called a side chick. He said, it's me, Tiger. Can you delete your voicemail, your automated voicemail message so that if my wife calls this number, she doesn't hear that you're a woman?
Right. But
that's some sucker shit.
No, but look. I
You just gonna finish. Go ahead.
Look.
It's me, Jeremy.
No, but
Don't answer for this number.
I got this joke that I tell on stage. Like
we're friends.
Like fundamentally, no matter how smart a man is, no matter how rich a man is, we all just Tiger Woods. We ain't. No. But
Let him get the joke out.
we all just OJ in the Bronco.
Wait.
Like look. When you see OJ in the Bronco, he didn't have a plan at all. He just got in the Bronco and just drove and said, "I'm gonna figure it out on the way," with the whole world looking for him. So like, no matter what, no matter how smart, no matter how smart a man is, no matter how rich he is, we all just OJ in that Bronco trying to figure this shit out. It doesnn't make any sense at all.
So, Jaesun, you keep saying he was a sucker for how he handled the situation, but he cheated.
Allegedly.
On his wife, right?
Allegedly.
He cheated on his wife?
With a whole bunch of women. Yeah, women everywhere.
So he cheated on his wife. So
he married a nanny. Sucker, another sucker move. But it's not Tiger. But it's not Tiger's fault. He greened in the green of Pebble Beach. You know what I'm saying? He grew up in a pretty sheltered life.
Yeah.
He went to Ivy League college.
No, not his fault.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm just saying he didn't have no game.
He's saying
You
it's
feel
not
me?
his fault. He's that way.
Like he didn't have no game.
was
You
his
feel me?
environment.
Like he's just trying to do the right thing, man. He was just trying to do the right thing,
not
but
made him cheat.
No, so okay, so
Man.
we talk. Okay, we
made
went.
him soft.
We went to
he married the nanny, man.
we went to the women that he had these affairs with allegedly, right?
They were so regular.
And,
He got a type though. He definitely got a
He ain't
type.
stand up for
What?
much.
Below average?
He took a lot of shit and just was like, I don't know why they do this.
It's like Corey Holcomb said, man. He like women who need him. Somebody who happy with $300, $400.
Pay a little bill.
Yeah, pay a little bill, pay the rent. Tiger was paying rent.
One girl worked at the little
at the restaurant. Yeah,
One girl went at the Blue Martini.
Yeah, just waitresses. He was just hitting waitresses and flight attendants.
all this bartenders.
Wild, man.
Somebody he could just give them $1,500 just go cover their whole life.
Yeah,
I mean, that was his fancy, like sleeping with regulars.
Yeah. Look at his
That
wife.
player was not regular.
Look at his
He's
ex-wife.
like, oh, I feel so human.
His ex-wife was like a beautiful maid, like Dutch maid. Like she had blonde hair, big boobs.
She's a twin, too.
Yeah. So he just was just like, hey, you know I'm Tiger Woods, right? That you don't have to have game when you Tiger Woods.
Tell me that wasn't a finesse, though. The nanny.
Yeah. Nah, because he loved that.
Because no, I'm saying not Tiger, the nanny, bro. Like I know it was the other golfer who was like, hey, Tiger. He suggested the nanny to Tiger. I mean, she like worked her way into becoming Tiger Woods' wife.
Yeah, because you know
that's smooth.
You know the other dude was already hitting it. He was supposed to be a little jump off.
His wife was the nanny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's like a blonde bombshell. Like
another golfer suggested him
His
to.
wife was the nanny.
You cheated on. You
He had
cheated.
two wives.
No, it's only one.
No, she was a nanny. He didn't have kids
Oh,
yet.
she was.
But
a
he
nanny,
was
not
like,
his
he was
nanny.
like, check the nanny out, and Tiger fell in love with her.
Yeah, she was supposed to be a fun girl.
She was like Swedish or something like that, and you know Tiger like him. You know how Tiger like him.
Yeah,
But he had a black one though.
Yeah.
One of his side was black. One of his side.
You got like 800 million out of that deal. 800 million, man.
Which one? Oh yeah.
His wife. 800 million.
She got like farms and stuff, bro.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
smart with that money.
Yeah,
Listen.
But that nanny was smart, bro. I'm telling you, bro. She was smart, bro. All right.
But
These women are smart, man.
She loves Tiger though. It's just Tiger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what you talking about?
I believe she loves Tiger.
Okay.
Who you talking about?
Okay.
The nanny. The nanny. His wife. She
You
said-
know, at that point, we can't say she did it, but dog,
It looked like she seen him coming.
this
around
is
the
a
way.
lick,
But
bro.
but that's the thing though.
Tiger's a lick.
But the thing is, people marry the idea. He married a blonde bombshell, and she married Tiger Woods.
Wow.
Janet Jackson married a Saudi billionaire.
And she walked away with some money and
After
a
the
kid.
fifth, and the fifth year was up.
But guess what? Guess what Janet Jackson wanted? She wanted a kid with somebody that she didn't have to take care of.
It was a good business deal. I think he wanted a kid.
Exactly. So it worked out.
From a Jackson.
That's all.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
slick.
all.
Yeah.
That's all we doing out
It
here.
was like a shake hands sign.
We married an idea, and if you don't get nothing out of the idea, then that's because you don't understand how this
500
shit works.
million.
That's right.
Look at Eve.
Yeah,
You seen Eve
she
husband?
married some ginger rich dude.
Man, Eve living.
Eve, you ask Eve about rap, she'd be like, rap.
Last week I seen Eve was on a yacht, bro. In like some country I never heard of.
When you said that,
I think she having a baby.
her song came right here.
Shout out to Eve, man, from the Philly streets, bro.
Bro, but that's
Shout out to Eve.
that's what marriage is. Marriage, the marriage, the way that's constructed, as far as like people getting married in the contract, is based on an idea.
They both won.
So if you don't get nothing out of that idea, and you don't have nothing to give or receive,
You don't like it.
then what the fuck are you all doing anyway?
Yeah.
So like that's like Tiger lost $800 million. Does he look like he's hurting? He's just like, hey man, I fucked up the idea.
And it
then
wasn't
he went
really
somewhere
that
else.
much. That was like the rumor.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out to be that much, but it did turn out to be a lot. It turned out to be.
That's
Yeah,
how much
they
they
were
Right,
saying
right.
it was estimated to be 750 million, but
Right.
it didn't turn out to be that much.
But shit.
But you got like all the houses.
Yeah, but
and, like,
even 400 million in half of his what you call like half of his estate.
Yeah, right.
Like who she ain't be like, well, it actually was only 400 million guys. Like that shit is still a lot.
But nah, it was the sweetest lick, right?
I
Because
don't
Tiger
think it
was
changes
like,
your standard of living.
Tiger was like, let me make it up to you and like let's work this out. She was like, no, bro, what do you mean?
I got what I wanted.
I got kids from you. I got half your estate.
Intolerable
You have to
differences.
understand that was a business move.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So he had to end that. I'm gonna use the term amicable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he had to, because remember he is he's a brand.
Right.
So he had to figure out how am I gonna get out of this. I just said to him, he underestimated her.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
he just looked at it from the standpoint of,
right.
But not
What you're
realizing
hunting?
He thought she was just a nanny.
right.
What you're hunting is also hunting you.
Right. So she understood on her end. Look, no, you gonna do what you need
Yeah,
to do.
she done
too.
talked to all these other wives too. You
That's
were
right.
hanging out with.
That's right.
It's just good business at that point.
Get who you are. The moment you are that.
When you get to that point where it's like
It's a business transaction.
when you dealing with that kind of money and y'all dealing with that kind of like separation of a state, you get to that point where it's like, okay, let me see if like I can like be married to you now. Cause that's when you decide if you can be married to somebody when it's over.
Yeah.
When you be like, hold up, okay, give me a second now. Let's check. Let's see if we like each other. And then if you don't, then I'll give you $75 million. Is that a deal? And she's like, all right, man, cause we do have kids together. That's what happened. Like you marry an idea, and then shit becomes real.
Yeah.
And so then when you guys come to a head and you find out that he's been having an affair with just random like waitresses for the past 10 years. You'd be like, okay, so all the chips are in my hand now.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
For real.
yeah. What do you want to do now? Because we do have kids, we do have history. When we went, this might have been an arrangement at first, or it might have been, hey, this was good for me at the time, or we just was having like a great sex, and then you were Tiger Woods. But now we have things that are tangible that matter.
Right.
Okay, so now do we want to go our separate ways, or do we want to remain married?
She was always working for that marriage, bro.
But that's
she
when
ain't gonna lose.
that's when the marriage start though. It start when it could be over.
She knew what
when
time
you're dealing
it
with a
was.
contract.
Yep.
You dealing with a contract. That's when you be like, okay, do I really like him now?
No,
Because-
he loved her for real.
But she had some love there too because she stayed after that. That's the thing. That's how you know that it's like, okay, let's see if this is. She stayed after that.
She did.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. So they were trying to. So after that happened, that's when they were married.
Right.
It was too much
That's
public
what-
humiliation at that
No,
point.
when she has all the leverage and she stay,
That's right.
that's when you're married.
That's right.
The person who has all the leverage and still remains married is the person who is in it. When you guys, when the other person has all the leverage on their side, they say, "I'm gonna see how this play out." That's when y'all married now. Now y'all can see if y'all really like each other.
Yeah. Because it's not beneficial
Yeah.
no more. Now it's like, I gotta love you.
Because if I leave, I'm gonna get $750 million. So you better act right.
What could he do? I mean, but she left.
But no, but
Run it to the mailbox.
she realized that hey, I don't like you like that.
Don't really make it.
I don't like you like that, Tiger. I just realized that.
Nah, but yeah, because what's the point of staying?
Love.
People try, man.
Stupid shit like love is the reason why we in
Man
this.
had 50 side holes, bro. I'm out of here. Give me the money.
So now, so here's
Why? Why would stay for? I ain't gonna find somebody I ain't gonna have 50
you gotta
side
you gotta think of it like this too. Not just what is she gonna lose? Because I think we gotta look at it as what else could she create to bring him down and destroy his brand. So that's what I keep saying. It was business. Because it's like and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
When everything happened,
How the severance gonna look?
right. She didn't leave. So in her mind, that was her. If I can say it this way, that was her first business move.
She had to play
You
it
know,
out.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
For
So
sure.
it was like, wait a minute. So she had to think about it. Like, wait a minute now. Do I need to walk? You know.
Yeah. And when you're married, if you leave, you lose. You abandon the home.
Right.
It's a lot of green stuff that happens.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you can't get tricked out of it.
Right.
So like you live with somebody and they be like, you need to leave. And if your ass leave, you lost, nigga, not her. What the
Exactly.
hell you listen to her for?
That's
That's
why.
why
That's why Will ain't left.
we just talking about something, but I don't really know how to go.
They got married in Cali too, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
but-
honest. I think she was a female O.J. Simpson, like you said.
Yeah.
Right. So her first move was just like, I think it
Hit
was
him with the
more
golf
of,
club.
I think it was more of, let me figure out what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Well, she hit
It
him with
was
the
like,
golf
it
club.
was
That's
like,
what she
don't
did.
make no quick moves. Like
She quickly hit him with the golf club. Now let's talk
Yeah,
about
and
that.
then she had to like settle down and be like, all right, what do I do next?
Yeah,
and
right.
Turner was like, we got him where we want him. She was like, yeah.
Because
It's like we say, my wife is a hero. I drove into the tree and she came out there and rescued me. Man, she hit you in there.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, you tried to clean it up good though.
But-
You tried to clean it up real good.
but Will is the
Everyone knew
hostage.
that was a lie.
Will is the hostage though in that situation.
Yeah, Will is.
No, because you realize that the open marriage is Jada's idea. Jada's ideal of.
Are you sure? Because
No,
I
it's
think
a
they
fact.
both go
Yes.
both.
No, but
Never mind. I'm like,
allegedly,
Edit that out.
no, but Jada grew up in an unorthodox.
Edit that out. I'm
Her,
sorry.
her parents lived an unorthodox life, and that's how she look at
That's
relationships.
right.
And Will,
She didn't want to be married anyway.
Yeah,
so that was her way of being like, I can still have me how I want to have
Right.
me.
Yeah, how you
She was
say
like,
I don't
hey,
want to be
let's
married,
have
but I
this-
marry you?
because you gotta get somebody who love you so much that they'll agree to anything. Yeah, we gonna get married, but I'm allowed to see other people.
Yep.
And guess what? Hey, by the way, you can see other people if you want.
Right.
And so I think like begrudgingly Will sees other people.
You
because-
think it was like that from the beginning?
Yes, because
Ah.
Absolutely.
No, I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was,
absolutely.
man. That girl was like, she don't want to marry that nigga.
But you have to
man.
remember,
But
And
she married him.
but she always was that
She
way
dropped
though.
everything and moved to where he was to marry him.
No,
She
but-
had- listen,
She hated it.
He got her pregnant. That was the whole basis of them being together. And the mother was like, you need to marry him.
But she said,
But she never wanted to.
she said when he
never
got
wanted to.
divorced, as soon as his divorce, the ink wasn't even dry. He called Jada Pinkett and was like, I want to marry you fly to where I'm at, and she had just bought a ranch or something, and she like gave it all up and like flew to where he was. But she said because he was so impulsive.
Hey, but it's like think about Jada. If Jada never married,
I don't know. She always know how to make herself look like a victim.
if Jada never married Will Smith, who would Jada be?
Okay, come on.
Jada would be
Peaches.
She would be right. Yeah. She would be Sunshine from
That was a great movie, man. No damn great shit.
Yeah.
He's great in that.
But you will only remember her.
Jus'Black.
You only remember her from being
You preaching. Go ahead.
a 90s actress. You'll be like, oh, remember she played in that movie?
She was a movie star.
She wasn't Will Smith though, bro.
I mean,
Right. You know, if I get pregnant by Will Smith, you'll never hear from me again.
Come on. That's right. That's right.
You're right.
That's right. That's real. Right.
What you doing here?
Remember that? No, what you said, that's real. Yo, at that time, you gotta remember, she was nobody. Yeah. So that was her, and I hate to say it that way, but it
she
was
didn't
like.
go down there and shame before Will?
No, listen.
Yeah.
That was
She was on the way up the ladder.
That was some meal ticket, dude.
Think about all the actresses that were acting.
She bought a ring. She had money.
Think about all the actresses that she acted with around that time. What's the lady who was married to Lenny Kravitz? The lady
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Bonet. So think about all the people that was famous around the time when she was starting to act.
Right.
You remember her as a 90 something, 1990, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97 actress. Mm-hmm. And you'd be like, damn, what happened to that girl who was in a different world?
Yeah.
So you remember her from Hawthorne? You don't.
Oh, Hawthorne.
Exactly.
He said, "Oh."
Not sure, right?
So if you get pregnant by the most famous person in the world, you're gonna be like, you're gonna say, hey, and especially if you got them by the balls, you'd be like, hey, by the way, we're gonna get married because we have a kid. But also, I don't believe in all this marriage shit. So if I see somebody that I like, I'm gonna date them for a while. Is that okay with you? Right. And because he loved you, it's like negotiating with a hostage. It's just like.
Wait.
And he's in a hurry.
Yeah.
He's willing to do whatever, and he's in a hurry. So she was like, I guess I'll marry her, but
she got all the
let me have whoever I want to.
He knew what he wanted.
And he was like, yeah, whatever. Come on.
He wanted to marry that woman, man. I don't know.
Jay, you ever heard of?
Then they became like the ideal couple for America.
You ever heard?
They had to.
You ever heard Will Smith say about like, so his woman is dating other people while they married. So he tried to date a bunch of women. So he was dating so many women at a time that it made him physically sick when he was done after one. He threw up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because he's trying to like live an open marriage because that's what his wife wants. So he's trying to just be Will Smith and fuck all the women he can fuck. But he really just want to be a nuclear family with just his wife and his kid, and he has a kid that he already made with his other woman. Right. So he just wanted all to work out. Right. And so if you live in that way where you like, and you with a woman that you in love with, and she just be like, yeah, but I never was raised that way when you like submit to some man, and he's like, whatever you say, I'm down to do, and it morphs into this. And then what happens when you live for somebody else for 30 years, when somebody make a vanilla joke at a reward show, you slap them in the face. Yeah. Because now you have to like, I've been being somebody's bottom for 30 years. Hey, and I'm Will Smith.
Power bottom.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. That's it.
And you have to go back to the beginning. The beginning is she was dating him. They were seeing each other while he was still married.
Mm.
Yeah. So Sharice, and that's the reason why Sharice never. She always had issues with Jada because she knew that's why she didn't like her because she already knew that they were fooling around. So she was always on the outside. So when he was like, hey, I'm gonna leave my wife for you, she like, I don't want to look, but see, now you gotta know the game. She like, I don't want to marry you. I don't even like you like that. She want Tupac. Yeah. That's her dude.
Come on.
No, that's
real.
That's real. That's what it was. Once he left his wife, and he only did that because he got her pregnant. So he was already in a fix. So it wasn't an issue of it wasn't an issue of whether or not she wanted to be with him. It was, if you want to be, she had all the cards. If you want to be with me, this is what it's going to be.
It's crazy. And so many women were like, you need to be like Will Smith and I'll be Jaesun.
Relationship.
Oh, yeah? That what you want?
Yeah, so going back to what you were saying, that's why they had to create that persona where it was like they were this perfect couple
like
because it was so much DL behind the scenes. It was crazy, man.
Jada, she be double talking, man. It's so good.
She get it from her mama.
I be like, damn, she just made that sound like she's a total victim in that. But if you really hear what she said the truth.
She been handling it from day one.
What she said is so good.
I don't know that it was good.
I don't think it was, yeah.
But I mean, like, for people watching, no, I used to watch the Red Table every week, bruh. And I would be amazed at how she can make everything sound like she was a victim, bruh.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this woman is...
Yeah,
she
can start a church. Like she slept with this dude.
She can start a cult.
Yeah. And it was like his fault. Like, oh, I was in a place and he wasn't this and he wasn't that. So I... Like, what? Man, come on, man.
Listen, man. The ability to do
Shout
that.
out to Jada, man. I love you, Jada. I do.
I love that y'all give us something to talk about.
I love them Virgo women, man. I love them Virgo women.
Well, this is how you bring your husband on national TV to interview him about your hookup.
Right.
Hey, Will was looking so shitty on there. Man, I be like,
I was like,
what's real, what's not in Hollywood, but that looks like that looks real.
You get who you are at the moment you are that thing.
Nah, man, Will's a victim, man.
She was too. That's why it works.
Yeah.
Exactly. Professional victim.
It was like business.
Right.
Yeah.
We got Ernie Baldwin checked in, and the pastor of the Forgiving Ministries. Positive confidence, grown men's conversations, real life.
Word. Our next damn. Damn, R. Kelly.
He called her Corey Holcomb.
R. Kelly called Corey Holcomb and sang on the phone.
Oh man, he still got it.
He said he sang on the phone. He said, "I just want to tell you, he said, I got to do that so everybody knows it's really me."
Man, R. Kelly can sing about anything.
He said, "I'm trying to make sure that's my voice." Like, bro, how you just so good at singing, bro?
I don't know, man.
It sound amazing.
That man can sing about tying his shoes.
He has such a beautiful voice, man.
So apparently,
We'll never hear it again.
Whatever. Man, he can make an album from the joint.
But apparently the call was mainly about the fact that one of the prison guards recorded his conversations, leaked those conversations to Tasha K.
Yeah.
Tasha K.
Was that a DA or a prison guard?
Guard.
Okay.
But apparently the DA knew before they went to trial, but they were like, yeah, we're going to ignore the fact that the guards committed a crime by recording this conversation and getting this information out. We're going to ignore that. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to get him anyway.
With that as evidence?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they introduced that, then they would have to have like a retrial or something like that.
Right.
Because that was direct, like he said, the law broke the law.
Yeah. So he was so. Now Tasha K, if I'm not mistaken, she left the country, right?
Oh yeah, she owed Cardi B $4 million or something.
She had
like
to
that,
get up out of here because she didn't want to pay that money.
Where she went?
Africa.
She went to Africa? What? Ghana? Now that's genius, though.
Man, I can't Cardi B no $4 million. I don't got $4 million.
No, she got $4 million, but
she do?
but it's
from YouTube.
Yeah,
bro.
I know she got 4.
She got a whole conglomerate,
but she had enough to pay it.
Yeah.
She had enough to pay it, but she didn't want to pay it.
They probably would have wiped her out, but she kind of got this raw end of the stick. She got a raw end of the stick of the Cardi B shit though, because she just said some honest shit.
Yeah, Cardi B leaned on her, bro.
Yeah.
She got that machine behind her, and she really leaned on her.
Yeah. Now Tasha K be on some bullshit 90% of the time, but this time she just kind of got. You gotta leave that machine alone, man.
Yeah.
Cardi B she is
their baby.
Yeah, she making people billions of dollars right now.
Yeah.
So you gotta leave those people alone.
Yeah, they're gonna pour into it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you.
Yeah, they're gonna send the team.
Yeah.
Cat team.
It's like
Don't want that.
she basically reported some shit that
It could be
Cardi B
social,
had
it could
already
be in person. You don't know how the cat team coming. For real.
Did I say that Ernie Baldwin was a pastor?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
R.
Okay.
Kelly, man, that's such a hey. No matter what, if the law broke the law, and you talk about due process, because he's already been he's somebody when he's convicted on, or the other one that he's still facing.
As I understand, because I didn't get it, and I apologize because I didn't get to look at it. I intended to kind of look into it a little bit more, so I'd have a little bit more information. But going by what was said on Corey's show, the charges about him being with underage children were dropped, and that he was actually convicted on another charge. I'm just not sure what that charge was. Like I said, I didn't get to look at it. So they use the animosity of the women, right?
The court of public opinion.
Right. My one girlfriend told me to give it to my other girlfriend, and because I didn't give it to my other girlfriend, she testified.
Did they do? Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, she testified.
She said I wasn't gonna do that.
Right, I told her I wasn't gonna do that, and she cussed me out. And when she sat in the witness stand, she said she still had that evil look in her eye while she was testifying and burying me.
So that's why Tiger Woods ain't telling everybody else.
I mean, but what R. Kelly don't understand is like.
So this means we can listen to R. Kelly again?
I mean, what
People stop? Did people really stop?
Some people, yeah.
Well, R. Kelly don't understand that like if you beat the system, walk light.
It's just that situation is just no fair, bro.
I mean, but it ain't, because don't get me wrong, like he getting screwed at this moment, but let's not act like R. Kelly didn't screw the system years ago. It's just like when you get away with something, and you know you got away with something, don't be like, they tried to tear me down and take shots on the yacht. Just walk light, bro. Just go do the Essence Fest and do like that. Just do that.
Don't do nothing else, man.
Get in another industry.
And I mean no fair like listening to R. Kelly. I didn't mean like the actual case. I mean like if you don't listen to him, okay, fair enough. If you do, fair enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's hard to listen to it when you realize that this shit is like inspired by like his infatuation with little girls.
I mean, it's hard for you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true, but I mean,
they don't give a damn.
But if you got a song called "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number" and you have been screwing little girls, it's kind of like, man,
I mean, yeah,
age
for
is
sure.
age is kind of important, brother.
Well, he wrote that song for Aaliyah. The album was called "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number,"
and then he married Aaliyah.
and he was like standing over in the cut on the wall.
Yeah,
on the album
it's just too many. It's too many parallels where you just gotta.
Right there.
Where you just gotta like you beat the system this time.
But he
like,
wasn't the only grown man.
But he believed he could fly.
But now we know in this case, right? So
he believed he could fly.
So this is the thing. He's the
He
world's
also ain't
greatest.
see nothing wrong.
Yeah,
He the world's greatest.
I was
with
nothing wrong.
a little bump around.
She's trapped in the closet.
Yeah.
But this the thing, right? Because this is what sucks, right? Because this is the selective outrage. Because it's documented that he wasn't the only grown man that had romantic ties to Aaliyah.
Right.
But everyone pretends like they never heard of that. They don't care.
Yes.
Because some of those names that's mentioned are some names that people really love.
Yeah.
She got.
No. I'm talking about dealing with
That's Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but it's a lot more.
I'm talking about men in the industry dealing with Aaliyah, grown men.
I mean, because
Elvis Presley.
That I ain't gonna.
You know how
He
old
married a
Priscilla was?
13-year-old,
You know
right?
how old Priscilla was when
Come
they got
on
married?
now. That's
13?
right.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
yeah.
Yep.
Woody Allen.
No.
I mean, the list goes on, man. The list goes on, man.
But the only thing is like, and that's fair.
He was like Jesus. He took
What's
on
fair?
the cross
No, it
for
is-
all they sins.
No.
The media. No, sorry. No. It's a bad metaphor, but
You said R. Kelly is Jesus. I want that to be clipped. You said R. Kelly is Jesus.
no wait.
R. Kelly is just like Jesus.
In the fact that he took on all the
Let me clean it up.
sins of all the pedophiles.
Let me clean it up.
Explain yourself.
Let me clean it up.
R. Kelly is like Jesus. Let's stop right there.
No. Let me clean it up.
R. Kelly is just like
No, let me clean
R.
it up.
Kelly is just like Jesus. Let's go.
Okay, all
Black
right.
ain't say nothing about the light.
Okay, look. Wait. I'm an artist, right? So sometimes I go straight to the theme.
Yeah. It was like the end of the sentence.
Yeah, get us there.
Yeah, go ahead, write this
But
song.
what I mean-
R. Kelly is just like Jesus. There's really no difference between R. Kelly and Jesus when you look at it.
It's obvious.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was the media took him and crucified him for all the sins of every man that ever did anything to somebody. But you know, because that was like, that's why everybody really wanted to see him fry. Because it was like, finally,
people had gotten away
women
with
are
it.
getting right. They're like, just do. So like all the women that's ever been violated was like living vicariously through this trial.
Right.
Like OJ.
And the media was doing that on purpose too.
But you also
Like the OJ thing.
that's
So that's not
People wanted OJ to go free.
That's not
No,
what I meant.
but
I didn't mean. I mean they had similar.
People wanted OJ. Black folks wanted OJ to go free.
But that's what I mean when I say that it's fair, it's a fair
They
assessment.
didn't care whether or not he committed a crime or not. It's like the number of black women who have been violated in this country by white men, right? Okay, payback.
Right.
That was the attitude.
Or
That was the
every
energy.
time as a black person you feel like white people won.
Right.
Because I remember being a kid and I didn't even keep up with this trial. I had no idea what was going on.
Right.
When I saw that he was not guilty, I was like, yeah! I didn't have no idea what was
But
going
you
on.
saw the tape though. You saw the tape, right?
What tape?
Okay, good answer.
Okay, but nah,
It was a tape.
I know OJ made a tape.
No, it was our Robert.
But no, what about the OJ thing?
Aura's
But about the OJ thing, no. Nah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, listening to the music
thought
thing.
you loved my
Because
man.
because for 100% fact,
OJ is also like Jesus.
100% fact, we know that man did things with underage women. Everybody knows that for 100% fact. We're not gonna try to
Sugarcoat it.
play around. We're not gonna do that. What I was saying is, it's subjective of listening to the music. Because it's like, we can pinpoint him because he was found not guilty in a court of law, but we can pretend like we don't know what's going on with this person and that person and that person and that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where I just be Switzerland, because I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna argue with you, but man, come on, dog. Man, let's keep it real.
Right.
We've been living in the dark for a long time. Depending on where you from, you done seen unspeakable things. Right. And you say nothing about it. And it ain't your job to say something about it. Mm-hmm. But so we're not gonna pretend like this time we're all like morally upright, and you're not listening to that music, but you ride on the street listening to little foo-foo talking about killing all his ops. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just step back out of that.
I'm like, and I agree with you on that point. But I also like, I don't have a sense of sorrow for R. Kelly, because you got to read the room. Yeah. So it's like okay, like. If you get caught and you beat the case, it's probably not a good idea to agitate the people that you pull one over on. So like if you beat the court system, you beat America, and you say, and you figured out how to manipulate the system and get away with it, you shouldn't probably then call yourself the Pied Piper after that. You probably shouldn't be like telling people like, hey, they trying to take me down, but
don't boast.
Yeah,
he was trying to buy him a seat.
Yo, you got what's the song? Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Yeah. So like he didn't know when to run. He just kept and that's just ego. That's just like I'm untouchable.
That's what it is.
I mean, you know, habits are hard to, you know what I'm saying? Habits are hard to break. You've been doing something for 30 years, 40, 30.
Yeah, but God or the universe or anybody, they gonna find a way.
Yeah.
It
to
seems
say,
like this is a trend though.
sit your ass down.
But I'll say this though.
Oh yeah, I
too.
don't have a dog in that fight. I just mean when it come to the whole listen, don't listen, I stay out of that because it be like, bro, come on, y'all.
But I say it.
But for every woman that ever been violated, then that's why I can never try to argue this point.
Right.
But for people who say I'm still gonna listen, I can't argue this point because this woman that's been violated, she listening to Little Murder Man talking about murdering people, and I actually got homeboys that got murdered for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, so to me, I'm like just Switzerland. Like I understand you.
Right.
But you're not gonna convince me you're more righteous
Right.
because you don't listen, and you're not gonna convince me that you don't care because you do listen. It's just too great for me.
Yeah.
But that's apples and oranges too, because it's. I mean, the other side of it is going back to what you all were saying. He's not. He's lower functioning,
Right.
so he's not really. So even
Can't read,
even
can't
at
get
his
it
right, exactly. So even at his best, he's still mentally and emotionally 15, or maybe
Damn.
younger. You know, so
They
like
have
there's
an
a lot-
expectation that he will
Right.
behave.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
he just
Right,
doesn't know better.
so he's so I hate to
Right.
say it, but he's being his authentic self.
Right, that's
so
true.
He's like,
That's true.
yo, like that's really where that's
So
his
that's
really
space.
what's
And the media never wanted. And once I'm not defending nor nothing, but the media never wanted to shine a light on the fact that he was violated by older women when he was younger.
Yeah, and I think
Because listen, we don't want to justify.
Right.
We don't want to say anything to justify. We don't want to give him an excuse.
Right.
You know, he got one.
I think
And-
Even though I don't think it's just giving an excuse, but
even if
you
he
just
got
lay
one-
out when you go to court for a crime or something like that, they're gonna go in a pattern of your life. I remember when I was a juvenile and I was about to go up into this court and I read my paperwork and it said I come from a drug in a crime area and I don't have my parents in the house. They was laying out a whole collage of my life
Right.
Yeah,
for
they
the
set the
judge.
stage.
At the time when I read it, I thought, oh, this is in my favor. They're trying to let them know that I'm high risk. I didn't know that they were letting them know, like, hey, this kid is unprotected, so you really can do whatever you want with him.
It was both. See that the thing is like when you have
But they locked me up.
when you have this structured society,
My first charge.
you have a structured society and then you isolate a problem. You have to make the issue definitive.
Yeah.
And so what they do
So you
is
can't
they
bring up solutions.
Right. So they just be like, it's because his dad ain't around. Hey, look where you grew up at. So it's like because it's easier to do it case by case because that just takes too long. So it's one of those things where like R. Kelly, he has reasons why he was molested by older women and he can't read and he has a lot of deficiencies, but he has a majestic talent that you can pinpoint and that can transcend everything.
He can't
So-
read.
They can't read. He can't read or write.
No, he
Can't
can't.
read or write.
But
There's rumors that he was trying to go back and get into a legal battle with his label because they knew he was illiterate when he signed all his stuff.
And
Because he don't own none of his music.
He wasn't responsible for any. He didn't do any of his business deals. None of that. He did none of it. But the other side too is the. So let's look at it from this side. The punishment also has to fit the crime, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to look at it from the standpoint of regardless of what his history was.
He got to go.
Look,
He got to go.
Here are all these incidents that it's like,
I
okay,
agree.
regardless of your history, they're looking at least 30 years of you did this, 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 and there was no repentance, there was no turning, there was no conviction, there was nothing in you that was like, yo, this is wrong, or I need help. You did
or I know that you're doing what you're doing, and I'm going to let you continue. I'm going to allow you to continue to dig that hole, so that when I'm ready,
Come get all
I'm
your
ready.
stuff.
right.
Because
and going back to what you said earlier, it's business.
right, and it's like
Because 100% he was allowed to do it.
Yeah, but
and
yeah,
even
exactly.
the girl's parents had something to do with it, and
Absolutely.
it was like so many people that was culpable. I would never, like you said, whatever y'all give him, that's what he get because we know what he did.
right.
But
Just put the whole story out there.
No, but it's
they don't do that.
But the reality is also that if somebody kill your mom, right, you wouldn't be like, hey, but what was he going through, man? You don't give a fuck about that.
No.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword because it's like, yeah, it's a reason why we arrived here.
They don't want the solution to that.
Right.
They just
I mean,
want
I'm so
payback.
different, but everybody else is.
But
I'm just way different. Bro.
Yeah, you're not the norm.
My mind goes. You know what I'm saying?
But me, I'd be
in
like,
that world, though,
fry him.
But in that world, though,
Because,
right,
I mean,
it's common for that
we
to
can
be
talk
like a
later.
repetitive thing, right?
Right.
Because, man, we can go to any scenario of anybody caught for this, right? And they show like a repetitive nature of this, and they don't stop, right? Like take Mystical. Same exact thing,
Man,
right?
that's crazy,
And
bro.
then every time he gets out,
That's right.
he goes back for the same thing, right?
Right.
R. Kelly on trial for this
Yeah.
goes back for the same thing.
Because
Like, he can't
in
stop,
both
like-
cases they can't stop.
How do you
Yeah.
do the tape thing?
They
Did
can't
they
stop.
present that in court?
Man, you know how you
The parents.
it's fucked up.
Payoff.
He paid them off and then he sent them on a cruise. So they can't-
Right.
they
And when he
can't
beat the
testify.
charge, he stopped paying the note on the house that they was living in. I read that somewhere.
Wow, man.
He stopped paying the
That-
bills
that-
at the
that-
house.
that's why I like-
after he
that's why I like-
beat the charge.
Yeah, it's a reason why.
So they was leveraging that on him.
It's a reason why we all. It's a reason why we all have
Dang,
arrived.
dog.
It's a reason why we all have arrived to where we are.
Right.
But like when you do some fucked up shit, you can't be like, yeah, but my mom wasn't around, because don't nobody care about that.
Nah.
Because and
Sometimes the judge may.
no, but you know what's wild? If you can say that, if you can identify this is where my shortcomings come from, that means that you can fix, you can heal from that. So then in turn, that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
If you can say, hey man,
Not
I'm
necessarily.
yeah.
You might know you're fucked up, but you don't know how to go about fixing it.
But you know you
because
fucked up.
people will be like, I got a hot head, I got a temper, and you know me.
No,
but they won't. But they won't be like.
No, but that's not what I mean is
When
if
you say that in court, you done.
right. But what I mean is
Yeah.
if you can diagnose why you have a hot head, if you can
Right.
be like
Right.
you can be like it's because my dad never listened to me. That means like you
That
went.
means you know better.
Yeah, you went
You're
deep
aware.
into it.
Capable of reason.
Yeah, you're aware, so you know better.
Yeah, he knew it, and he knew that was illegal. I mean, he
Yeah, like come on, because the number one evidence that you know something's illegal is when you take steps to hide it.
Right.
If he thought that you were allowed to fuck 15-year-old women and he just went to the award show with a 15-year-old girl,
whoa.
then you'd be like, man, he just don't know no better. He can't read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like
But he's hiding it.
Yeah.
It's like secret.
Yeah, I would never defend him, but I would just talk about the people that listen versus the people that don't listen.
Yeah.
Because when people say separate the man from the music, but I don't believe that that's an actual thing.
because Marvin Gaye wrote sexual healing about an underage girl,
Damn, I didn't know that.
and that shit a bop.
But I just think that's like some kind of like try to be woke thing to say like I separate the music from the artist, but it's like you literally can't do that.
You can't, but if you know origin, it's kind of hard to listen to it.
Yeah.
Like if you know this
No,
song,
these people, no. We're in a collective. We are in a time now. Unfortunately, we being bombarded by so much. I mean, you can go on Instagram and go to an Instagram page of people getting murdered.
Yeah.
Like literally, just people getting murdered, bruh. So like
I don't have that page.
we're in that time now. Like we're in that time now where people are just kind of like
Desensitized.
they not in that heart space.
Right.
So they do care
Right.
that women were violated, and they do love the music, but it's like they're just not at that place, especially when it's like what we were talking about earlier,
Right.
where you like are at a barbecue with a parent, with a somebody in your family that touched you, or or you at your mama house and she really scarred you mentally, but that's still your mama and you still just over there with her pretending like y'all never gonna have these conversations and like, so all these things just take it to where we just bog things down to the point where it's almost like we just don't feel it no more.
Right.
So it's like, but the woke thing is to say is I separate the artist from the music, but it's like really you ain't in your heart space enough to like really be moved either way.
Right.
Because it's just you just oversaturated sensory overload.
Right. And it's not really honest because the truth is some 12-year-old who made $3 an hour probably made this iPhone.
Yeah.
And I love this iPhone.
And Colton, that the mineral the Colton that's in every phone is mined by children.
Yeah, mined by children who work 16-hour days and they make a half a penny an hour.
And our clothes are made in Indonesia, Vietnam, and Singapore.
So,
this is how I think, bro. That's why I be like, miss me, bro. All y'all can miss me with that. Because your shirt is made in Indonesia by somebody who ain't making nothing. Your shoes is made in China. Your this is that. The phone, the person that's answering the phone when you call customer service, they outsourcing it so they don't gotta pay them nothing.
Right.
Like you're supporting this, and that.
Right.
For people, it's a clusterfuck.
But that's why.
I'm just trying to, bro. I'm not.
That's why I don't.
What can you do?
I don't condemn it, but I will be like, I'm not going to excuse it away.
Right.
That's the only thing that bothers me is when you excuse it away. I'm not going to be like, because I know that this capitalist world that we live in, the 6 degrees of separation. If you really detail everything about your life, you're not gonna like the origin of it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, for real.
That's right.
So
But I think this is why people
You're
don't
funding
chase
oppression
solutions.
just by being in here.
This gets back to why people don't chase the solution, and that's why I said that early. But we really didn't get into it. But like the solution makes you face it all.
Yep,
That's right.
If you start looking for the solution, you realize you gotta check you too.
That's a fact.
You're like, grow your own food.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, why would he do that? And then you
grow your
realize
own
some
food.
shit you do might make somebody else do that.
Right. That's what
So it's like
that's what all
this
this
is why
shit
nobody
is.
want a solution. They just want to like attack the problem and get it out the way.
Right. That's what all this is. All this is. That's what people be like triggered.
And then it turn to business.
Yeah.
Because then when you attack the problem, now you can find how it can be lucrative.
Yeah.
And they like, oh, how much he got? Yeah, get him again.
No, like we complain about the GMOs, but we ain't in our backyard figuring we ain't buying the land together to like
that's why
we're like, they need to stop doing that with the food.
Ain't nobody open the market yet.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be right.
Right.
I used to say this back in the 90s. I remember I was back when I was in the military. And everybody was like, man, marijuana will never be legal. I said, marijuana will be legal as soon as the government figures out how to make money off it. I said, it's going to be legal. Oh,
Everything in this country will
that
have
never
to
happened. But see, I said, you watch.
But you know what's crazy?
Business.
The truth is already embedded in our psyche. We call it capitalism because you're capitalizing on the evil of it to generate money.
Yeah.
You literally saying, this is the problem.
I can exploit and leverage that.
Instead of fixing it, I can make money off pretending to.
Yeah.
Not to segue too far away, but the whole thing with Kanye. Remember, all of a sudden he wasn't a billionaire. What was people doing?
Yeah.
People sending him money.
Right.
Look at the. I mean, but that goes back to your point.
Right.
That's just the thought of that is crazy.
He still got 800 million.
No, look, it's like people not really listening to what's going on. Right. You have somebody. You have media telling you that somebody's not a billionaire who had $998 million in a bank account. In multiple bank accounts from one bank.
Right.
So how you gonna tell somebody? How you gonna say this guy's not a billionaire and this person, and then a bank is telling him, and you publicizing that they're telling him that we're not going to hold your $1 billion in our bank? That doesn't make any sense. It's because you're not listening to what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're really good at not listening.
And that's only one account.
Yeah, it's only one account.
It could be multiple accounts, but it's one bank.
And it's like his name. He can go appear somewhere and make $1 million, or $2 million, or $5 million. So it's like you allowing people to tell you something.
He can make his own fashion week.
You allow somebody to say, hey,
About 2
you're
million.
ugly and you're also beautiful, and you being like, they said I'm ugly, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You not listening.
This is why I be Switzerland, bro. Because it just be like, dog,
You come back around
everything
full
is
circle.
going wild, bro. Everything you can point out with somebody else, I can point out what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
can point out what you doing. I can point out what we funding
Right.
and we're supporting. I can point it out, bro. So it's just like, bro, I'm not finna sit here and play this game of, nah, but those people are like really the ones that's doing the worst things.
Nah,
so
right.
like, if we like condemn them hard enough, we can feel upright.
Right.
And it's like, man, I ain't finna
Right.
play that game.
But
But all right,
and that goes back to like being triggered or being offended, because I can literally say we do it once a month where I literally say, and it's on camera, where I say I'm the problem. But when I say that, it would mean that you would have to also say, while looking at me, saying that you're the problem too for your life.
Right.
But instead of you saying that, you can say, but what about what men do? And it's like, well, I thought we were talking about solution.
Yeah.
Oh, say, but no, but like what Will's going back to, the crime and what you did, you could say, oh, but bro, you just been through all this, all that. Like,
Right.
yeah, but I still did this to these
Right, right.
people, and that was wrong.
Right. But nobody's going to defend me in that way, because I have never
Your wokies will, they will.
I never believed I could fly and made it sound so amazing.
I can fly.
Woo! That was good.
God damn, Sierra.
Sierra, this beat is automatic, systematic, hypnotic, funky, fresh. Dang, that song is amazing. Yes.
So was that out
Oh, Sierra, that was like a new sound. That was a new sound when Sierra came out with that.
I was trying to understand. That seemed normal to me compared to what everybody else doing. It.
It was Missy Elliott. It was Missy Elliott, but that was Sierra had a that era when Sierra came out with Goodies and 1-2 Step, and man, nobody wasn't messing with that. Tall and beautiful and could dance like that.
I think that the issue was I think it was more located.
No, that was her one weakness, but she was a star. She had all the rest of the action.
Because
They can do fix that in the studio.
What was so in preparing the flyer to go out on Sierra, I just put in Sierra in a dress, right, thinking it was going to be the first thing that popped up. No, it wasn't.
Put the cheeks out.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first one. She dresses. There's a lot of photos of her dressed in some very interesting outfit.
Right.
I'm saying it like that, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, so why is it hard for me to find? So then I had to actually go in and type in more Sierra at the Oscars, and then the dress in the outfit came up with the photo came up with her in that dress. Jeremy and Jaesun spent a few posts
Oh my gosh.
getting the people riled up about the Sierra outfit, and I was like, we got to be. I guess we're gonna have to talk about this.
I got jumped. I was told I was attacking Christianity. Yeah. No. I said because
Yeah, because you said R. Kelly was Jesus.
I ain't never gonna be able to that's bad.
You know, the early Bible said, just so long as you didn't say he didn't walk, R. Kelly didn't walk on water.
I didn't mean that's not what I meant. I was trying to get to the point. Dang, I ain't think that out.
Father's 2 words.
Yeah.
I didn't think that out.
R. Kelly is a lot like Jesus.
When I get famous, when I get famous, it's gonna be just a clip of that and like none of the rest of the conversation.
Come up.
But
Man, that's terrible.
no, so
That's gonna be the name of his tour.
R. Kelly is a lot like Jesus. That should be a book. That should be a book, man. R. Kelly is a lot like Jesus.
That tour would be amazing.
I ain't
Jesus
never
on the
gonna
R.
be able to
Kelly
get
is
that
Jesus
one
too.
back. I ain't never gonna be. That's probably the worst thing I ever said in my life. And I said a lot of bad
You know,
things.
R. Kelly, they went back after him, like right after, like to take your mind away from the what's your boy who died in prison, man, with the island, and they had the whole
Jeffrey.
scandal. Oh yeah,
Epstein.
Epstein.
And Harvey.
It definitely took away the focus off of that, right?
Yeah.
But look,
mainstream.
and when Harvey, Oprah was like, we need to, like she said, like we need to like give some grace here.
That's
to
hilarious.
like when Harvey
Well, Michael
Weinstein
Jackson
died,
guilty.
you know what I'm
She
saying?
said Michael Jackson did that. Yes,
Like
it
it was
Did you say
wild.
something?
That's crazy. And they don't talk about not listening to Michael Jackson.
But I just said right because a friend of mine that I went to school with, Haley Hunt, she's like a artist. She's like a youth offender advocate. She goes to all these jails and does all this activist work. And she was just recently at this facility with Russell Wilson and Ciara, and they were like evangelizing, you know, the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw some singing.
So, you know, and they have been very vocal about their relationship with Jesus and God, and Ciara's prayer went viral, and so that was only my thing, right? Because whatever you wear, like I said, I be Switzerland, man, because I ain't got time to play these games with the selective outrage.
Right.
So, but I will get in there just to like point things out because, you know, the pink wall is like, oh, she's a black woman. Y'all can't wait to. What about these other women who was? It was an event, and we don't care about the other women. We don't care. We don't know who they are. We ain't worried about them.
Right.
You think they not talking about? We stop that. That's a cop out. That's cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ciara because she's in our community. But I said if the first lady of your church. Because it's just, it's an event. Everyone was doing it. Savannah James ain't do it. But we ain't going to go there. That's not fair. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's fair. Maybe it's not.
You pitting black women against
Okay,
each other.
right. Everything is a minefield. Everything is a minefield. I don't know how Dave Chappelle makes it through it. But,
Helicopter.
so my thing is, I just said, if the first lady of your church went to an event and wore that, would you give her the same grace that you giving Ciara? And nobody wanted to answer the question. They like, oh, here we go, attacking black women.
Yeah.
Why are y'all so concerned with what black women wear? Yeah. Oh, boom, 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 boom. You ain't even a Christian. You are attacking Christianity.
Yeah.
What is your obsession with Christianity? Yeah. I said, man, this wasn't even about Christianity. I said, it was about the fact that they
hate black women, bro.
I said,
I knew it.
I
knew it already.
I said, for one,
They love to talk about it.
I said I talk about Christianity because I only just present it because it's highly relevant to our culture. Right. I didn't grow up as a Buddhist. I didn't grow up as a Muslim. I didn't grow up as a Rosicrucianist or none of that.
Right.
It was the Bible, baby. We was in there. Pentecostal, Baptist, Kojic. Stop playing. Right. So that's why I bring it up. Stop doing that. That's a cop-out. You're not listening. But I just said, it's just, they are very much big advocates of this. Right. I know if I advocate this, I got to move a certain type of way. If I advocate this to my son, I can't be telling my son he need to work out and I'm fat and nasty. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not how it works. So I'm like, I'm not judging on anything. I'm just presenting a question. And none of those people wanted to answer the question. Nobody, you go look in the comments. Nobody answered the question.
Because no answer, just attack mode.
Yeah, right. Because that shit is not an honest conversation, man. Right. That's like that's why I was talking to my homegirl the other day. Like, you know, like when you see something and then you immediately defend it with a compliment. The compliment is just you defending it. Right. It's because in your head you said that's crazy, but you also care about their feelings. It's not to say you shouldn't care about their feelings, but it's like if you see like a big girl and she got on a small skirt and like a low midriff and and you be like, oh shit, look at you, girl, you showing up. And it's like, why would you do that? It's basically saying that you never look good, and so today you trying. You know what I mean? So
it is though.
Yeah. So
you're saying all of that.
But it's like if I bring it up like, yo, babe, you don't have to wear all that because you was beautiful before you did all that. A woman can do what she want with her body.
What she want with.
Okay.
Yeah, you doing it.
You did
that's
the exact
microaggression.
You did the exact same thing I did, except I came at her with the exact.
That is a microaggression, Jeremy. Microaggression. I learned about that a few years ago.
Yes.
Do any of you think that Ciara was disrespecting her husband?
I think that all the women,
I love Sierra.
I think all the women who spoke in favor of Ciara, let me say this a little better. I think that it would be interesting if all the black Christian women who were in support of Ciara's outfit dressed that way when they go to church this Sunday.
Right.
No, it was a themed event.
This is going to be a themed event. It's going to be the Ciara Sunday event.
Now, you can't have them cheeks out in the Lord's house.
Yes, you can.
Why not?
Why not?
What? Yeah.
Why not?
No, not there. That's
Why
a
not?
sacred
What?
place.
Why?
Why?
It's a holy place.
Why?
If it's for your husband, it ain't
No,
defiled.
no. That's at the house. That's the bed. The bedroom of the married is undefiled, not the pews in the church.
No, I get it.
So you're saying this is inappropriate?
Yeah, but that's
I'm saying
church
don't
out
do
here.
that in the church.
yes it
But
was.
what if it's like
It was-
what if-
You're
what if-
invoking lust.
It was
What if
weird-
it's like the
it was
fall
weird for her
festival?
husband because the thing is
It's not in the church. It's
the
out
thing
in
is
the parking lot.
it was a themed event, but the theme wasn't be naked. that's what we missing about this.
But those other women, they were.
Yeah. So they went and found 3 women who had on similar tacky outfits, but the majority of the people there were not dressed that way.
Right.
And she was, and the reason why they be like, oh, why y'all worried about her? Look at this white woman. It's because you presented to the world, you preached, and you've actually demonized people about the word of God and Jesus, and we going on these trips and we talking about we being evangelistic. You can't then be like you can't be Madonna like a virgin. You can't because it's the exact contradiction of what you've been preaching. And so it has nothing. You can wear whatever you want to wear. But you also can get this whatever criticism that comes with that. If I come in here dressed like in a banana suit, you guys gonna say this guy has on a goddamn banana suit.
Nah, because the truth be told, a lot of people, your pastor cuss, but you don't want to hear him cuss, even though you cuss every day, all day.
Right.
You don't want to hear your pastor stuff. He's supposed to say shit. God. You like. Pastor ain't supposed to be like that. He's not supposed to be like me. That's why I come here and listen to him.
Right.
What?
No, but that
man is
You don't
human.
want to see your pastor at the Corona downtown having a glass of scotch. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you can't handle it because
That's right.
he
put him on the
can't
pedestal.
do that for some reason.
Because you put him
He
on the
can't have a
pedestal.
cigar and a glass of scotch.
and he put himself on the pedestal. You can't condemn human and then do human things. You can't be like, hey, a woman wouldn't carry herself like that, and then you'd be like, well, it was a theme event. It's not the way it works.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. If you
and not get criticized.
yeah,
You're going to get the crit. You got to
yeah,
get
you go,
criticized.
and that doesn't even mean the criticism is correct. It just means that that's what comes with what you've done,
Right,
because your
right.
whole platform is criticism.
And that's what I posted.
Yeah.
I said people
And that don't have nothing to
criticize.
do with if her husband was cool with it
Yeah.
or none of that.
That's what they was like. She
Who made this?
they was like
None of that
she was
shit.
with her husband. I said so.
What I'm saying is, I felt like she disrespected herself as well. But I'm thinking, you out, and what kind of relationship do you have? What kind of respect do you have for the man that you're with to behave that way? I don't know if maybe he didn't have respect for her to allow her to behave that way too. I just don't understand. I don't understand the whole thing.
You know, but I think what she,
Patrona made a good point. Patrona made a good point.
We don't acknowledge any good points from
Nah.
yes,
Patrona did make a good point, which I give her, because ever since Ciara has came out, Ciara herself.
She came out as what? Gay?
No. I mean, when she came out into the industry.
Okay.
But she's literally been a specimen, a work of art. Like you say, Ciara's not known to be the best vocalist, but Ciara is known to be a physical work of art. Like, she's tall, she's beautiful, her genetics are crazy, her physical discipline and her fitness is ridiculous. So her body, it's like Sports Illustrated, right? They have like the body
the swimsuit issue.
No, they have like a body when they do now like once a year.
Yeah, like-
and they have like
yeah.
all these athletes and they're like naked,
Yeah,
right?
it's like the body
But
of
it's
the-
like tastefully done.
Yeah.
But it's just showing like how their bodies are like ridiculous. Like these people have 1% human genetics.
What did
And-
Patronus post?
So she was saying like Ciara has always been, her body is a work of art. So you can see it as trashy and tawdry, and you can see it that way. But you can also see it, it's like a Greek statue of a naked person is looked at as a work of art.
Right.
So she was saying like you can look at it either way.
Right. But
That is that
But
I can't take that away. I can give it that Ciara is a work of
But
art.
but
it's not. But then,
I'm not taking away from your point, though.
No, the issue is the appearance of a contradiction.
right.
That's what I was saying.
That's all
That's
it is.
what I was
That's
saying.
the issue.
That's what I was saying.
You don't typically see or think of a woman who you say is a good Christian being naked at a
With
party.
the cheeks
Right.
out, yeah.
And
You don't think that.
They're blurring the line.
And,
Right,
and,
right.
and it's like
Because-
her whole thing is like the Ciara prayer. What that notion is implying that she had been with all the wrong men, and so she met the right man, so she don't carry herself the quote unquote wrong way. That so
And you have shown everybody.
Because her image
almost
when she
everything.
first got Russell, they
invitation.
marketed her as super wholesome
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And that's an
Fully
invitation.
covered.
Yeah, so now she has on like the what it is
The hijab.
no like basically like a hijab, basically like a what's the female priest, female priest kind of
Nun.
thing person, nun,
Nun.
like with the nun hat and like the long dress to her feet,
Right.
and so and not only that they market her that way, she leaned into that. She started doing evangelistic things, going out to prisons and be like, hey man, you don't have to be what
bet
the
she
world
did that
think
dress
you
in
is.
prison.
You don't have to be what the world presents you as. And then you present yourself to the world the way the world wants you presented to show that you're sexy. And so and people are like, well, she was showing that she was a woman. One thing, the misnomer
Yeah,
is
that's
that
a-
you don't have to show yourself naked to a woman is sexy by sole proxy that she is a woman.
Man,
You don't
a
have to
face
be
shot
like-
could be sexy.
Yeah,
man.
like,
lick
yo,
her lips in front of you,
Right.
make you go crazy. You don't need a whole body.
A woman's voice is
People know
sexy.
what a
You don't
woman
have to
is.
be like, look at my naked ass, look at myself in this sheer dress with my thong on. You look like free before 11.
You can.
And so I'm not allowed to say it.
But this is also assuming, right? I mean, I don't know much about her faith stance or position, but I'll say it this way: this is also assuming that that's her understanding of who she is,
Right.
and how she's to be. So we're assuming she is this, she's gone from being, this, as I like how you said it, this physical work of art, to this modest.
Yeah.
We don't know her, so we don't know what her understanding of that is. So
Right.
her understanding, going back to looking at the Megan Good situation too,
Right.
what is her understanding of where she is in her mind?
Right.
She's like, I'm going to this event. I'm gonna get sexy, and she may not think anything of it and be like, "What you think, honey? Oh, that's fire. Let's do it. Let's go." And in her mind, she's just going out on a night with her husband to this event. But here's what going back to the right and wrong and good. Okay, the expectation of people. Well, you did this prayer, so you can't wear this.
She has a publicist. I'm sure she has a publicist.
But let me finish. Listen.
I'm sure she had people image consultant.
I agree.
Yeah.
She been trying to go real hard though to like get herself back out there in the game.
Right, let me
So she's
finish.
trying to talk. Okay, I'm gonna
Let
get
me
Nick to be
right,
ready.
let me finish what I'm saying. Right. So let's think about it. Now, Ciara for a while has been Russell's husband, or Russell's wife. Excuse me. Right. So what is it? Was this a publicity stunt? Was she doing this because she was just trying to foster attention? She got some new music coming out. Like we don't.
Married.
She does have music coming out. Talking about some independent woman,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
need a man.
Yeah.
This for the girls who don't need a man, and they went off on her online for that.
So Corey Holcomb was right that they finna divorce.
I don't know.
You know, the internet is trying to whisper at that.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm like.
But we don't know. We don't know.
There's so much that we don't know. We can only go by what we're seeing. Right. And we're using the social construct that we currently all exist in. Right? And we're drawing conclusions. You say one thing, then you do this thing that makes the one thing you've been saying look like you've been lying.
Right, you've been lying.
Right? So when somebody says you're lying, to be mad because they said you're lying, you doing something really special now. And I don't know that she said anything because there's just people defending her. So I'm talking about the people who are defending her, right? Mm-hmm. So to act like she wasn't this person, and then she showed up dressed like this. I say everybody go to church for Ciara Sunday.
Right. See what happens
this Sunday. And let's see how it go.
Right.
Let's see how it go. Let's see how many of you women you married women can put on that outfit and get out the house.
Right.
And go to church.
Right.
I mean, they wouldn't do it, and that's the thing. Like when you said about the woman that's kind of maybe her shape don't really fit what she have on, and then everybody champion it and that's what the post I had made about how we've been shifted so much to our egos as a collective that we take as much as we can personal.
Right.
So we like to jump in those people's skin,
right,
and like try to like vicariously live through them for whatever insecurities or inadequacies we feel we may have. So it's like
they are relationship goals, right? Well, I mean, like 2 or 3 years ago, it was all relationship goals. Yeah, Russell and Ciara,
but not even them though. It's like when somebody like defends someone else, it's normally because they see themselves in that.
Or they want to.
Or they want to see
That's
themselves.
why I'm saying, I was just about to say, it's like the woman who would never have that body, who would never look like Ciara.
Right.
She wants to feel like, if I did look like that, and I wear what I want to wear, and can't none of y'all tell me that, but truth be told, she don't look like that,
right.
She don't feel that confident, and she would never
never wear that.
But she want to jump in that skin real quick, and we just got this thing about being a victim, but we've been programmed that way. You know what I'm saying? We've been programmed that way to find a way to be a victim somehow.
Right. Listen,
so you said something about her, I feel victimized.
Right. In the early '80s, Purple Rain's coming out
for her.
Oh yeah,
Purple Rain's coming out. I'm in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm driving driving downtown so I can go to the theater because I want to watch Purple Rain. I'm the biggest Prince fan there ever was.
I watch Purple Rain once a year. I watch Purple Rain.
I'm going to go watch Purple Rain.
Jeez.
They had women in canvasaws wrapped around the theater 5 times trying to get in to see Purple Rain.
The kid.
Now, they didn't care what body size they had on. They just had on what they wanted to wear. And a lot of them weren't wearing much. Yeah. Standing in line was almost as good as standing in line waiting to go see the movie was almost as entertaining as going to the movie. Right? So this thing about we're going to fast forward to we talking about the early 80s, 82, 83. We're going to fast forward to 2023. And this is a big deal. Right? But it's a big deal again because a narrative was put before the world that says, I am this kind of person.
Yeah.
Right. And then you wore this outfit that doesn't match that narrative. So nobody's saying you can't wear the dress. Right. We're saying that outfit don't really match that narrative.
Right. And did she know what she was doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, these
put the clothes on.
Right, but this but this goes back to my point. This goes back to my point.
They threw a net on her.
So we're looking at it from the standpoint of a standard that we don't even know if she has.
Right.
We're just speaking in general. So once again I'm going.
They have. So you can't go out the house with nothing.
Right. This is absolutely. So this is
around the house all the time. But
it's completely subjective. I mean, it's
right.
You know, she knew what she was doing when she got dressed.
See, they got a team of people. Right. That say before you walk out the house,
that's right.
This is the thing.
That's right.
Right. So what I do know I don't know a lot about that world. What I do know is ain't that many. Those ain't accidents.
Right.
People nah.
Those are not accidents.
People want to get that body off. Exactly. Let's keep it real. When I was working out 5 days, 6 days a week, I had on a tank top every day because the arms, they was ridiculous. The shoulders, the everything was just blow. I wore tank tops as much as I could.
Right.
I like that feeling. I like the attention that I got. Right. Women was like just drooling over me. Right. You know, I just felt good about my work. Men was respecting the work because they could see how hard I work.
Right.
So I was just getting a different level of respect from people.
Right.
I'm like, why are these people just respecting me like this? Right. Oh, they see I get it in.
Hey,
and so it's like now we in that time where, and you can see it if you go to the beach or if you go downtown on the weekend. These young, they in shape, and they gonna get that body off while they got it. The dude shorts, now these dude shorts are up here, because their legs look great. And they like, I'm gonna put my Hoochie Daddy shorts on, I'm gonna put the little shirt on, because I'm in the gym, man, and my body, I think is pretty fire. So that poses that question, because I mean, you could be a Christian and be a swimsuit model.
Right. No, but you know,
I believe you can.
No, but you know what? It's also
because your body is your body now. If you choose, it's like in the garden, right? They didn't know at first. It was just a body, right? A kid running around the house naked, it's just a body, right?
Right.
It's the eye of the beholder.
Right.
So if she was at Fashion Week, this ain't nothing to nobody.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But if she coming to Kojic, Church of Holiness.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't even get it.
Holiness is still right, baby. You know they gonna put the shawl over her. You know what I'm saying? They not with none of that. So it's like.
So hey, somebody gonna mention it on the pulpit.
I think
that's why.
Absolutely.
That's why I be
welcome. Gonna be out.
That's why I be
quick.
Switzerland
Singles ministry.
But at the same time, yeah, if you brand yourself as this. If you having a millionaire seminar and people find out that you worth $5,000, they gonna want their money back.
Exactly. Hey, but you know, but it's also this weird thing. It's a weird place we in, and it's not just with women, but I'll use women as an example, where they want to be married or partners, but defiantly independent.
Yeah.
That's right. And that completely contradicts what you say that you want. Right. So if you be like, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, and it's like, so you don't give a damn that your husband feels uncomfortable with you being naked.
That's what I'm talking about.
So like, so right, and it's because
but he gets to determine that.
Yeah, he didn't say no. If they were,
so we can't say she disrespected him because. If he was standing in the pictures with her,
right?
So he didn't look disrespectful.
Right. I mean, but it's also people not allowed to have an honest conversation about that, even with their spouse, depending on how y'all are with each other, because it'll feel like you trying to control her, or she don't have a voice of her own. When it's not that, it's just like I would prefer that nobody's seen your lady parts. Yeah. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I prefer. But the crazy thing is, your woman will feel like just if you had somebody steady and you start wearing those gray pants, you be like, I don't know now. You keep wearing them gray sweatpants. Is there something?
Saying you dressing like a hoe?
Yeah, like because
why you dress like this?
Crystal say, where you going?
Yeah, or it's like your woman don't want you.
Me and the girl snatching pants off him.
Your woman don't want you like highlighting something. Your woman don't want you highlighting something that she know that women would find attractive.
Right.
So if you go get a haircut and your woman be like, you just going to the barbershop to talk about relationships. Why you getting all clean for it? Right. You don't normally dress like that. The thing is the shit just don't look. It don't look the same when you looking at it, but it's the same.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want you to be naked in public, and you don't want me to be super charismatic for no reason, because that's why you like me. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You know what it leads to.
Yeah.
But you gotta think
You know how it
of
go.
like if you go downtown Saturday, and I mean, or like Facebook, and you see what these women wear downtown,
Yeah.
and then you see them on Sundays, and they got all matching outfits on in church with their kids.
Right. But the thing is, in that instance, people are allowed, and they do make that distinction of the contradiction. It's just that when you have made a couple gold records, people will be like, "She's just being a woman." But if it's just a regular girl who was free before 11 on Saturday and then went to his church on Sunday, they're gonna be like, "Hey, I see you in that lime green neck, see-through dress that you had on with pasties on."
It might just be like, look at
her.
No, they don't want their husband talking to you.
They gonna show the picture.
Jezebel vibe.
Yo, my homegirl sent the picture. This is her right here.
That's wwhat I go back to. It, it's context. I think it's a combination of where she was, and then it's projection. It's other people's expectation.
Yeah.
Because here's how I'm gonna say it. Is she an evangelist? So we get this idea in our mind of she's preaching to God. But is she just doing that for good measure? We don't. I don't know the depth of where she is with that. But I also know that whatever she does, she understands consequence.
Right.
She knew what she was doing when she walked out the house. Her husband knew because they were together. Right. Whoever the publicist and team that was around, none of that was. When I looked, like it didn't even move me, because to me it was gimmicky. That's the first thing that came to me. It's like she must be coming out with an album or something, because it was just kind of like if you show up in that dress, everybody's gonna be like, picture of that dress. It's just and I've seen worse.
Right.
I've seen worse at these award shows where people show up half naked, and it's like, but nothing said.
Yeah.
But you're not even allowed to say.
I like the outfit.
Right.
I just think I like that. When I saw it, I was like, okay, what's the big deal? And then when I watched everybody kind of going in on each other, I was like, oh, okay. So they mad because, and then, okay, this is me. When I see the bullshit, I'm like, all right, here's the bullshit. Anybody trying to defend what she did, you on the bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's plain. She can wear what she want to wear. I agree.
Right. No one said she couldn't.
And the outfit, and I thought that she looked sweet in the outfit. She was attractive. I enjoyed looking at the picture.
Right.
For half a day. No, I'm just playing, baby. I'm just playing. But the point I'm making is, I don't have a personal feeling. I don't have a dog in this fight.
Right, yeah.
But I'm paying attention to how silly you are.
Right.
About
acting like you know.
Right.
Or pretending like you care.
That's why you don't, or like you don't understand the opposed argument. Yeah. When you be like, she being like, you making the argument like you don't be like, well, I can see, because you just be like, yo, I wouldn't wear that either. You're right, but she can do what she want. That's a more honest answer than just flat out defending it. And it's people that I know for a fact. I see people defending it, and I just watch them defend it. That's why I post what I post, just in fun, because I genuinely don't care.
Right.
It's just funny to see you bullshit.
Yeah. And I was like, I know you bullshit,
yes,
man.
I know you, man. I know you.
I didn't even.
That's why I was enjoying. I'm like, oh, you said that?
Like I said, if the first lady wore this and they put something in my post like, why you attacking Ciara? Why you attacking black women? I'm like, that's not. Did you hear what I asked?
Right. First lady.
Did you hear what I asked? I didn't say shame on Ciara. I didn't say this is the problem with black women.
They thought that.
I just said,
that's how you
would
feel.
you still champion this if the first lady of your church wore it?
Because guess what? Newsflash, it was great looking at. It was fun to look at. She's a very attractive woman, and she appeared to be naked.
And they would change the conversation in by saying something like, "My first lady don't have a body like Ciara." It's totally just get past.
Nah, they went everywhere, but they just trying to. It's like people try to silence you by trying to say you're attacking people.
Right.
That's what certain people do. They come under my post and they try to make it look like I'm attacking people. They're trying to, but they really low key trying to attack me so they can silence me.
Right.
And I be like, yo, I get how you interpret it that way. There's in no way how I thought about it. You don't even know how I think. We don't even think the same. Right. So I'm going to post about what I'm going to post about. You can scroll or you can unfollow me. But I hear you, but like you're not gonna convince me that I have a problem.
Right.
I don't have no problem with black women. I don't have a problem with black women wearing what they want to wear. I don't. This stuff means nothing to me. I don't even watch mainstream TV.
Right.
I just come on here and see y'all talking about it, and I sit back and I go,
and make
okay, let me see.
And you make an observation. That's what I was talking to my homegirl about this too. Like, where it's like, first of all, like I use like my content to generate income.
Right.
So like I realize that when people see my posts or see anything that I put up, they consuming it as a consumer.
Right.
So they responding on how they put up posts or how they put up content, because they saying like, when I put up content, I put up posts, I genuinely wholeheartedly care, and I lose minutes or moments of my time doing it. So they saying if you do that, then you must also feel the same way. Well, I'm generally just making an observation, and I genuinely don't care one way or the other. It's just saying like, that's interesting that the world is seeing that and reacting in that way.
Right.
I don't care about Ciara, Russell, if he's a simp. I know that you believe what a simp is, and he fits the description to you.
Right.
Because I know you who's commenting.
Right.
I don't give a damn. I don't care at all. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But when I realize that people are coming or they're reacting or they're triggered based on where they are.
That's right.
I have a prediction that Victoria's Secret gonna make a bunch of those outfits and they're gonna sell out Halloween next year.
They already sell those.
There's gonna be a lot of women dressed like Ciara at Halloween.
They already sell those at Fair Villa and adult superstores and stuff
Did
like that.
Victoria's Secret ever make? I mean,
apparel.
does that stuff fit women with curves?
Yeah, they
Victoria's
make
Secret?
them.
They never did.
Nah, they stuff's always been for like no booty tone.
Nah, they make everything. I seen a mannequin.
They switched up now?
I seen a
The pink. You talking about the pink?
No, I seen
The pink?
I seen a full figure mannequin. So they make it.
Oh, okay, waking up. Okay, all right. Because for a long time they were not inclusionary.
Wait. You said you saw a thick mannequin.
I seen a full figure mannequin. She was like not even like thick. She was like a plus size model.
BBW.
Yeah, I stopped and see what they were selling. That's how thick she was. I was like, okay.
Somebody said, let's do it like this.
You know when Drake said I like my girl BBW, that made it official to be okay to like women that were bigger than.
But
society.
we always like thick women.
Yeah, but he made it across the board.
But
you know
but it's like people didn't realize he didn't mean Lizzo. He you know what I mean? He didn't. Not for real. He meant like
I'm done.
Malia. No, Malia is thick.
He meant Regina King. Like people don't realize that. Like mainstream America think like Regina King. Those people are like BBW.
Who's a BBW in the industry?
Think about it.
Dashka Polanco was a BBW.
Yeah,
I think she lost some weight. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, she was on Orange is the New Black, man. She was like she.
But
had
it's like
they
have like where we come from. If she got a flat stomach, she not a BBW, right? She's regular, like she's normal.
She gotta have a little fubu going, right?
Even a little fubu is like. I understand.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, I ain't no grown man. They're tripping on that. Well, maybe I don't know. Some people they're like, BMI gotta be.
Something to hold on to.
We on that. They call it your SMV, your sexual market value. So
Yes, sir.
now it's all about BMI and carb intake and
Count macro.
man, look, this thing getting serious, boy.
What? You gotta put work in, huh?
He said he's getting
Gotta put work
serious,
in.
man.
It's
You
either
might
that
not
or
even
pay
get,
somebody else to cut the workout. Or whatever. How do you say?
you might not even get that
Put their
job
work in.
because the next person that came in interview look like they put in more work than you.
Yeah.
Like we in that image time now, like where
That's true.
you look good in this position.
Yeah, but and it's like you're not allowed to say it though. Like back in, it was always like that, but now like they used to be able to tell you like, yeah, you just don't fit the mold. Now they just be like, now they can't even say it.
Yeah.
Because your feelings like matter. Your
That's
feelings.
why it's online now. They like fill out this application on the computer. Yeah, they just not
Now,
him.
my last,
They don't even call you back. They just like, throw
the
that
last
away.
place I worked
Delete.
at, I noticed one day I was sitting back and I noticed that all like the receptionists and things they had and the women they had dealing with the money and stuff and dealing with customers directly, they were attractive and young.
At every,
and I know who do all the hiring.
at every
older white dude.
At every major car dealership, that's like Mercedes or places, they all are attractive and they all are pleasant to be around.
And I was like, whoa.
Not even sexy, just like, yeah, would you like a water? Yeah. Oh, you look good in that Mercedes. You would, Mr. Johnson. And you be in that bitch like, yeah, let me get that Mercedes.
We'll just say they were easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm
it's
like,
safe to say they're trying to touch you too.
Yeah.
It sounds like
it's
really like they gotta stand over you and maybe touch your shoulder.
It's like
this one.
It's like feminine wild. It's like feminine wild where you just like
cheating.
When you say something, they be like,
this is
hell yeah,
it's not fair, man. I didn't
like
want a
that.
car. I just needed a car wash today.
Man, I seen a woman diffuse a whole situation doing that one time. I was like, and nobody noticed that she was doing it but me.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. She was just like charming everybody and like just defusing the situation.
And you know,
I was like, wow, this is amazing. For sure.
I used to like watching that and then talking to that woman
she's in control of the
and then breaking down what she just did because it'll blow her mind that you noticed.
Right.
I like to just play dumb.
Yeah, no, I like to talk to him like, I see what you did.
Right, I kind of like that. I do it like that. I saw that.
But she very much loved being a woman and loved the power that she had by just like being soft and being sweet, and it wasn't any weakness there. Like, it's just so weird how they can trick people into thinking that being like soft and sweet means like being easy to be preyed on.
And that's wild because you actually have more power.
Yeah.
But when it's genuine.
Right.
No,
right.
That's the thing. If you're just trying to do it because somebody said you should, then you're gonna feel like you're being oppressed or something.
Oh no, not even if you're genuine. It's if you are aware that this is how it works.
Right.
That's like women who understand themselves is as powerful as a man who understands himself.
Right.
So that woman who was working the room in diffuse situation, she knows how to work the room in diffuse situation. Right. She knows that woman probably has a husband who does it. Just like most if you
a brother,
she's from New Orleans.
She's been trained in that.
She probably
so she had green eyes.
And so she had that juju, bro.
Over.
I was able to get one of our hardcore feminists to understand the power. To understand the power that a woman has when she can be submissive. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that it went that way, but I guess I framed it in a way that it just couldn't be denied.
You can't use the S word. That's a trigger word.
Which word was the S word?
The S word. Submissive.
Yeah, but yeah. But I wanted to use it. I said, if a woman moves this way, if she submisses and she moves this way, she creates an energy, or she enhances, or she allows this energy to exist in her home that helps her man be more at peace. Mm-hmm. So now he can actually, when he wakes up in the morning to get out to go conquer the world, to give it to her, when she operates in that energy, she actually transmits that energy to him, so that he can get a clear mind. He can do, he can get all of that, so he can go out there and get it and then bring it back and give it to you. Yeah. So the relationship is reciprocal.
Right.
But now when you create a space where you're doing the opposite,
she conquering the world.
Yeah. But
what you mean?
But she's not.
She got a suit on.
But you're not. But you're not because you're
just working in somebody else's world.
Right. Yeah. You. And this is wild because this is wild because there's. I like the question. Wait a minute. You are willing to negotiate and compromise at your job. You're willing to negotiate and compromise when you fill out your college application, become whatever you need to become to get into school, and become whatever you got to become to get the job and to keep the job, But you can't do that with the husband, the man you're supposed to marry and partner with to be everything.
If it makes sense, I guess, huh?
Nah, because I think every person, like every successful man or has some level of success, who has a woman, his woman has a certain level of control in that situation too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think people haven't adopted the idea of submission in the wrong way. A woman doesn't submit to a man.
No.
A woman the feminine submits to the masculine. The masculine submits to the feminine, and they submit to balance.
Right.
So people have adopted this idea of based on something that they don't quite understand.
That's the woke Trojan horse,
Right.
man.
So like people be thinking that a woman who understands this, even if she can't verbalize it, she runs the household in the proper way,
Right.
or she runs whatever, or maybe she goes to work and husband stays home, but they all run it together in balance.
Right.
It's like it's
she runs what's been allocated.
right. It's not even hard because
vice versa.
Hey, that's
What
easy.
y'all like?
it's easy.
That's very easy.
It runs smooth.
That's why you go like
Come back and be like, you handle yours.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. Well, how'd you do?
Yeah.
A lot of the people that do it the
Y'all had a
best,
great day.
they don't verbalize it.
They don't
just
verbalize
do it.
because you never verbalize
Yeah, they
because
don't even gotta sit around and talk about
because
it.
it's like a natural
Right.
fit.
Right.
So you don't have to be like, well, he pay all the bills and I do this. You don't have to do that because it just is obvious. If he makes $100,000 a year and I don't make any money, or I make $30,000 a year, then y'all allocate it.
It is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All this stuff still got to get paid for.
You be talking about like I got to have a man that pay all the bills and he make $30,000 a year. Then you sound stupid.
Yeah, how you make $150,000 a year and your girl don't got no gas in her
Yeah,
car?
come on, man. Like
Stop being green, bro.
Right.
Right.
This your girl or what? You gonna,
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
But that's where your boy, Sir Kev was like, you want this dude that's in the like 10%, 90th percentile of Americans. Do you even know what he wants? If he even wants to be married? Like, if he has no kids right now and he up this much and he's this young,
he just called out.
You think he want to settle down?
Yeah,
It's kind of delusional though. It is. You ain't even asking.
But that's the thing, though, right? So
it's like, do I want Rihanna? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, come on, man. Let's
It's
not
be
dumb here.
It's not even real. Like what you asking, and you haven't even thought this shit through, dog.
People in their own
of course,
world.
The numbers aren't numbering like.
and of course it's not. Of course,
It's
not
another
all-
question too. Like, have you ever even seen anybody
Yeah.
like this?
right. So it's okay.
Ever.
I'm saying.
A great idea.
Even Kevin Samuels would ask you
Never
like,
what?
what did your dad do?
Right.
You never seen this person that you've created.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You have
It's on my IG.
Hey, man, but that's the whole point. You never even rub shoulders with this person. You're not even in places where they at.
Right.
Moneybag Yo gave Ari $20,000 cash inside of a $20,000 purse
So what?
for her birthday, and she gave him a Lamborghini for his.
Yeah.
Like, y'all believe this shit? Come on, man.
They
Stop
were
it,
millions,
man.
and all that was right off.
There was a camera. They had a whole camera crew there. This was like a whole thing, man. Like,
Advertisement for both companies.
It's,
but that's unfortunate though. But
The purse company and the car company.
what country? One of these
Like a
countries.
write-off.
That's correct.
They might ain't even keep the car.
right.
One of these
They
countries
was like,
got
you
rid
can
of
use it
filters.
whenever you want, man.
Right.
Like, he can't even have it.
No, but look, one of the, I forgot what country it was. They got rid of filters because they said that there was like this Kardashian effect that they was noticing with the women. So they like banned filters off of the social media. And China went down to like where kids can have like 1 hour of like video game time and 1 hour of this because it's like
It's mind
y'all
altering.
turning into Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because they know it's mind altering.
Right.
yeah.
They know it, man. they still know what television was invented to do. That's why they use it, right?
Yeah, of course. But
And they made mini ones. You can keep one in your pocket just in case your ass decide you don't want to look no more.
Yeah, so social media is.
They're gonna
I
make
mean,
noise every time you turn around. You're like, oh,
and it's not social
let me look
media.
again.
I don't
Like,
think
they
it's,
got this to a science.
I don't blame. Because I don't blame social media because everything is a medium, right?
Right.
It's whatever people are chasing, whether it's intimacy or connectivity or relatable or something vicarious or just a fantasy now where you can just.
Why do you
It's-
care?
This shit, yeah.
It just gives it. It just gives it to you like instantly with a touch
Attention,
of a button.
attention,
And an overabundance of it.
attention and stimulation.
Sensory
We're
overload.
chasing attention and stimulation.
yeah, that's like the guy
You
the
gotta
guy
chase it,
the guy who owns or runs TikTok. They asked him, does his kids have TikTok? He was like, no, they're too young.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
And then they was like, how old are they? He was like 8, 9.
Yeah.
And then he was like, so why don't, he's like, well, he was trying to explain how TikTok doesn't allow certain age people to have TikTok. He's like, well, your kids don't have it at all. He was
Right.
like, yeah, they too young.
Right.
And you know, like even with like certain these social medias where the kids have to be a certain age, but they just lie about that and make a page.
Right.
And their parents even make them a page.
Right.
Because it would be like Facebook, you got to be 13, or
Right.
Instagram, you got to be 13, or this and
Right.
that. But these kids be 9, 7, 6, 5. They just go and make a page.
Yeah,
Their parents help them make the page.
Yo, because Facebook used to have to be in college. You used to
I
have,
remember
you
that.
you had to have a college
ID.
I
email.
knew that. I was like, man, that's so
Right.
green. Because I wasn't.
But-
I
but-
wasn't going
Well,
to.
remember, Facebook was invented for those college
Yeah,
people.
yeah. It was been
Yeah,
about
it's
college
Facebook.
kids.
It wasn't really supposed to be like it is now.
Yeah, it was been
Yeah,
about
it's
the
Facebook.
college
Just
kids.
pick who
going to
look
college.
better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but when you realize
Turned
that
into
people
more
are
like a
willing
whole
to tell you
profile.
But
everything about
the
themselves
people
for
who
free.
created Facebook, when that shit became $1 billion industry, they say, hey, how can we make more money doing that?
Give it to everybody.
Yeah.
Give it to them.
When you see,
They got better than that, though. I think it was more complex than that.
yeah, when you see that
I
people
think it
are
was like-
willing to tell you everything that's on their minds.
Yeah.
their
Social media really
locations.
had a boom when they realized it could collect so much information
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
AIs.
Exactly.
So then it was like the government was like,
That's
hey,
right.
like, get them to make a timeline.
That's right.
And then they were like,
Right.
then they were like, hey, make it so you can never delete it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now if you put something on there, it's just on there.
That's right.
You can
Yeah.
delete your page and not add more, but you can't get rid of the old.
That's
so
right.
now it's like a documented timeline
That's right.
that you fill in.
Right.
That's right.
Right? Now they
Right.
don't gotta chase you down for all this info and
That's
see what
right.
you're doing.
And-
You're gonna volunteer it, and all they gotta do is get you to acknowledge that you agree to the terms.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't even gotta sign.
Right.
You just click a box and
Right.
you agree. And by downloading this, you agree to the terms and conditions of this contract,
Right.
and you do it.
Right.
And then now they can share it with the government, their biggest client,
That's
Right.
and who eventually buys them out.
That's
Right.
right.
And now all this whole timeline, it belongs to them.
Yeah,
That's
your,
right.
your,
Yeah,
your,
so it's
business,
like
your family.
that was their boom.
Yeah.
And all the rest of them follow suit. They're like, how
Right.
much they gonna give? And you know the government's gonna be the best client you ever had if you're a
That's right.
business.
And they can down there create an Android that really can mimic any human
That's
thought
right.
or
Yeah.
emotion because they have it all in a database.
Yeah.
And they
That's why they needed the
Program is
info.
real.
That's why
They-
they
they-
struggling with TikTok.
They
now.
made it very
Yeah.
simple,
Yeah.
man. They made it very simple. Where the first thing they ask you every time that you log on,
What's
or
on your mind?
what's on your mind.
That's on your
What when you go pay a therapist, what do they say? The first thing they say to you is they say, "What's on your mind?"
What are you thinking right
Because
now?
then you build a template of who you are.
That's my wife. What are you thinking right now? It's always random too.
One of my friends
I get that.
is an artist,
I
right?
get that.
She always thinks it's something about her.
Yeah, and it's like
I was
sometimes
thinking, why French fries gotta
right.
She's like,
Now, bro, because women don't understand that
it's not
sometimes.
even French.
Sometimes it'd be like, yo, how did Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil have kids that are dark skinned? And they're like, yeah, like, what is this?
Man,
It's
somebody
about nothing.
who's the milkman?
Yeah,
Remember when France ain't want to go to war with us and we started calling them freedom fries?
yeah.
Yeah.
France was like, nah, y'all.
Yeah,
Talking about
y'all
some
crazy.
weapons of die. Nah, y'all lying. We straight. party. And then it was like freedom toast and freedom fries. We was mad they didn't want to go jump people with us.
They took the whole dish.
What they did? Man, is you down or what?
Yeah, for real.
That's based
My
on
enemy, your enemy.
of projection. It's I study human behavior. It's just that thing, and I generally always start with my family, right? Just listening and watching. I'm like, okay, man. So my wife will, she'll walk into the room. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Well, you look like so and so and so and such and such and such. How did it look? But then she'll explain it to me. I'm like, no, you making up stuff. That's how we do it. But you making up stuff. Well, I'll say something. I'll say, you make up stuff too.
Yeah.
Right. But we're in the place where we can just say that to each other. Right. So we're at the point now where when we catch each other making up stuff, we call it out. And we actually, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate you checking me on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're talking to people, I was in a conversation with a young lady a few days ago, and it was about somebody making up stuff. Wait a minute, you making up stuff? I just told you making up stuff. There's no way you could actually know that. Right. You don't even know these, and it might have been it might have been. I think it was probably like the Ciara situation. Wait a minute, you don't know anything about these people. You're making all of that up.
Right.
You got to be making it up. You don't know those people. And well, I remember what it was. Tiger Woods. It was Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, according to her, Tiger Woods was a jerk.
Hell yeah.
Tiger Woods was a jerk because he had an affair with 7 women. Tiger Woods was a jerk. He was cheating on his wife. He was a jerk. That was the number that was put on the table at the time. I said. So my question was, I said, okay, what were the women that he had an affair with? Were they jerks? Probably.
No intensity on that.
Right. I was like, wait a minute.
You don't even feel the same about it.
If Tiger Woods is a jerk because he cheated on his wife with 7 women,
everybody else who participated,
the 7 women that cheated with Tiger Woods, if we're framing this as though one gender is worse than the other, he's 1 and they're 7 or more. So because I'm not doing that, but I'm saying, so if you're deciding that his gender is the wrong gender because of what he's doing, your math ain't mathing. It's 7 of them. They know he married. And the problem they all have is they all thought that they were the only one. And I was like, how do you know that they all thought they was the only one? Right. Oh, they thought they was the only one. Wait a minute, wait.
No way.
Wait. How do you know?
You can't even go to his house.
Right.
Hey, one time she held it down, she got 10 million.
Right. But how do you know
keeping it quiet?
He lied to them and told them they were the only one. How do you have that information?
Right.
But she had that information.
They was all on the
door. She didn't have nothing. This nigga's famous. Everybody in the world know who he is. And they know his situation. If they Google them, they know, oh, this is his wife, and they probably looked at her up and down and everything.
Right.
Come on, man, stop that.
I mean, it's Tiger, man. They trying to leverage that, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna call her.
I know you're married,
I'll call her.
And you know I know you're married, so
okay. We
just tell me.
We get ready to have the conversation on April 2nd. We're gonna have the women back at the table. And I have a question for them. I'm gonna trust that they're not watching us at this hour. And I'm going to ask, look, the plan was to ask this question then, but the question I asked my wife was, if women outnumber men in America by 2 million, right? And we're going to throw in at least 1 million men that are homosexual, right?
Dang.
So that means, so that means women are down. There's a $3 million man deficit for women. My question is to you, and don't answer me. Don't answer this again. My question is to you. For the women who don't have a husband, who don't have a man, what do you have to say to them because they want one? If everybody's supposed to be faithful and ain't nobody cheating, what do you have for that $3 million, that 3 million man deficit?
They better start giving these brothers their green cards like we do with these women. Hey man, you better fly these Jamaican men in. I heard, man, these Jamaican men be going hard for the American women when they be over there. They don't care. They don't care what you
Look like.
They don't care about nothing.
Nah, they ain't
There ain't no care.
Yeah. They trying to get over
And
there.
they gonna put a baby in you.
They trying to get
They gonna lock
over
it
here.
out.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I was like, that was a real question, and I'm really interested in hearing what women have to, what married women are going to have to, what they have. What's the answer? What do you have to say for these women? These 3 million
That's a
women
good
who
one,
can't
man.
get
That's a good
who can't get nobody.
Because a lot of married women, they be trying to like.
No. I ain't talking about the lesson. I'm just talking about.
A lot of married women, they also be trying to like match make for their friends who's single, and they be like, "Girl, we gonna find somebody."
Ain't
Not
nobody.
realizing
Right.
nope, the option she had, he went to prison like 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
And I ain't even counting them.
Yeah. And that's just the dude she gave attention to.
Oh yeah, man. They gotta let
That don't
brothers-
count the dudes who like wanted her and she shitted on him like 13 times and he was like and went somewhere else.
Yeah.
So now she lost her opportunity thinking, I'm a manifest the man I need. Not knowing they don't got that no more. We ran out.
Yeah.
It's sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they sold out, man. Like
ain't no more.
yeah, 3 million of y'all in line for nothing.
Hey, they be marrying them dudes in prison.
They be sharing them too.
They be marrying them dudes in prison. They do. You know, yeah, when I see like men say it's no women here, I be like, are y'all sure? Are y'all sure? Because I never had that problem. I never had that problem my entire life.
Like I had a great time in my life.
Nah, man, listen.
Yo, all the women trash. I be like, y'all sure? Because
The mirror, it's the mirror. It's the mirror. It's the
yeah,
mirror.
I mean, of
you gotta-
course.
It's
I
definitely
mean,
different
of
mirror.
course.
Yeah, you don't like you.
That's right.
That's really what it boils down to.
They, you see my post. I said you don't actually you don't have to have a passport to find a good woman. You just actually gotta be a good man.
Good man.
Man, they had every excuse under the book why
Yeah.
the modern woman is this and that and that and this.
Yeah,
and
the modern woman don't got a man.
like, bro, y'all are worried about the opinions of women that's typing into social media platforms.
Right.
They are just saying things.
Right.
When you really out here being a man, bro, it's not like that at all.
If
there's a league of women who don't see you,
right,
there's a league of women that do.
right.
So why are you worried about those women?
Right.
I'm not worried about those women. I'm
Right.
just where I'm at.
Right. Awareness, and presence.
But it's gonna be enough where you at too. You're gonna be like, wait, some of y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. So it's like, I don't know what women I be out here thinking.
That's what it is.
The range I'm in is like, I mean, they.
And I don't know if y'all ever heard this. I heard this at a breakup one time. Chick was like, I hope you don't find nobody. I was like,
Right. It's like that's not.
That's what you own.
It's like that's not how. That's not how
I'm
any
sure
of
you
this.
strong.
That's not how any of this works.
But they be like, when he realizes he'll never meet another you again, like,
Maybe they
okay.
in line.
But
They in line. Some of them credentials is better
Are
already.
you crazy? Don't you know that it's another woman over here?
it's like women. You don't.
It's not even your fault. It's like-
Whatever women you meet at the time, all the women you meet are gonna be similar to that woman. So that should tell you that it's you.
Right.
Yeah.
So wherever you at, that's where you gonna be.
Yeah.
That's where she gonna be. So like, we talk about this about women talking like this. Those are the women that I run into.
Right.
I don't date those women. Those women
Exactly.
not going.
That's right.
That's like I seen a woman was like, "Oh man, men don't take women on dates no more," and I was like, "That's weird,"
Right.
because I go on dates all the time.
Right. Go on dates.
It's like-
And when I'm on dates, I see other men on dates.
Yeah.
Right.
When you get clear, your world gets clear.
Yeah,
Everything
like-
is your interactions are clear. It's Yeah.
Like you chasing behind a little man that's showing his pistol on IG.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna give a come with that too.
Yeah, like what do you think
Little
he
man,
gonna?
be ducking.
What do you think he
You
gonna
gonna be
do?
ducking too, or you gonna catch one in that weave? You gonna pay the 400 for.
You trying to make a man date who don't date, and he telling you don't date.
Right.
Now that's the thing too.
How come we don't go out? Go
You
with
trying to be the prize.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And sometimes it's like,
People
how
trying
come
to-
we don't go out, but there's nowhere around to go out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
People
you worry
trying to
about
date
3 or
people to
4,
be
whatever else.
the prize, and it's like that's internet talk, man.
Right.
Just work on yourself and attract the version of that. All of that, you trying to be the prize, so you trying
Yeah,
to
it's not
leverage who you date, or you
Yeah.
trying to date
Right.
You
up
gotta win me.
because
Right.
Trying to create a big.
because you're hoping by dating up you'll be able to drift off of their, you know what I'm saying, aerodynamics,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Nah, you gotta do the work.
what makes you think?
Hey, that
All
don't
this
even
hustle.
work
All
though.
this hustle.
Like the one
Yeah.
post when they said
But that hustle never works.
women are the one post when I silenced the women online where they said, "Oh, y'all want us to settle," or something like that, and I was like, "So you're saying you want to date this guy that's not doing that? So basically, you want a man to settle for you?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like what you're saying is,
Don't make sense. Right?
yeah, like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are you saying?
But it makes sense to them.
Yeah.
No, it don't.
It makes
It
sense
don't
to
even
them.
make sense to
I
them.
want-
That's
I
why they
want-
be
no.
crying in the
I want-
shower
I
every
want-
week.
I want to be with somebody that's everything I want him to be, so that I can take my time and become what I
No,
want to
I
become.
think that's just an excuse.
It's
I think
what-
that's an unrealistic. It's a dangling carrot that people use to not face the fact that
They're not.
they would not date the version of themselves.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you.
So they say the dating pool got pee in it.
Yeah, but what you.
You're peeing in it.
But what you're doing is you underestimate people who don't do the work. So yeah, it doesn't make sense just because they didn't add themselves as a variable into this equation that they created. So they saying like, I want a guy who does this, who does that, who's 6 feet tall, got an 8-inch penis that fucks for 3 hours, open every door for me, thinks I'm beautiful, looks at no other woman.
Right.
So you say you want a man that every other woman looks at, but he don't look at none of them.
Yeah, impossible.
That's not how that works.
No.
But it's like
him, he gonna look.
yeah, it's like you want
There's a
a
line from around the corner. He said, "That one."
that one. I want you. Yeah.
The one that don't work out.
and
the one
all
that
the-
eat anything. The one that watch Love and Hip Hop every week.
Talk crazy.
The one that, say she got a smart mouth, it takes a strong man to handle it.
She don't know how to cook. She just orders.
The one that once you see her when she don't have hair sewed into her hair.
You never seen her without makeup.
That's the one I want.
She talking about she natural.
I want the girl who said he got 99 problems, but the biggest one is me. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh
I want the
my
one
God.
that's gonna add an extra problem for me.
The one that listens to more trap music than me.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
A true dependent.
Yeah.
When he got Uber Eats and speed dial.
This is
It's like you're not being. It's like and it's like.
Speed out.
Uber Eats. Uber Eats on speed dial.
But and that,
The one that baby daddy shoots people.
Hey, but
And
that,
all she keep talking about how she want to get her body done.
Oh my.
but we in a world where you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Like if a man says unrealistic things, hey, I want a woman who make her own money, who's beautiful, gorgeous, only had no other sexual partners but me.
They be
But
like, he delusional.
yeah, you gonna be like, what you got?
Yeah, everyone's like, shut up, dude.
But I'm not allowed to say what you got. When you ask, what you bring to the table? I'm offended that you would ask me that. I am the table. It's like, well, that actually doesn't.
What does that mean?
That doesn't make sense to the analogy
that mean?
that you being the table. That doesn't make sense to the
It
analogy.
can't possibly be true.
Yeah.
At the table.
But you know what? When they say at the table, they saying basically, I'm gonna sit here and wait for you to present everything. Because that's what the table does, right?
Hold everything.
So it's like, what actually are you saying?
Right.
I'm saying, what do you bring to the table? Because I'm going to put things on the table, and I want you to put things on the table. But you're saying you are the table,
Yeah.
so basically, I got to put everything on there.
Yeah. No,
It's
man.
ridiculous.
It's like you really don't know how.
It's that woke
You don't
Trojan
know how
horse,
this. You don't know how
dog.
this work at all. Because a man of any means is happy with a TV and a big couch.
Yeah.
So like
That's it.
so
man.
unless you're gonna make that more simple for me, I don't need the headache.
Yeah. That's key.
Yeah, I'm in my
You know,
I'm in my
trying to
peaceful.
get
I'm in my
Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah, that's key.
I'm in my peaceful man era.
We have definitely been in. I feel like we can keep going on, but we probably need to get up out of here. We can say some of this.
Oh, yeah, I'm tired.
There's so much that we didn't even get to. We can save for the next one. Thank you. Good night. Keep this short. Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
I want that one, the one that goes to the club every week and gets drunk.
That was.
I want the one that gets drunk 2 nights a week. That's the one I want. Get out of here. You're on social media getting drunk every week. You think that's what man, come on, man. You drinking past being aware of your surroundings. And you're posting it on social media. Like, what are you doing? And I love you because I know you come from the trenches just like me. But I can't do nothing with you but befriend you and give you platonic love. I
Because
can't do nothing more with you. But the women, they don't even be attracted to me anyway. Like, because they know it's just oil and water. It ain't gonna mix.
Nah, they be attracted to the allure. Like they're